The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the Real BBC, ladies and gentlemen. Bagging, boarding, and chatting. Talk about some comic stuff. There's not much in the news other than Warren Ellis being canceled by women he consensually slept with. The intersectional.
Well, no, he's getting cancelled by women who are speaking on behalf of women that he had consensual sex with.
Thank you. I sit corrected. We have the intersectional She-Hulk to talk about, possibly being banned on Twitter. Game of Thrones references. George R. Martin maybe admitting why he's not going to finish the Winds of Winter ever. And Black Widow tracking is in, and without seeing any of the reviews, I bet you they are just spectacular. It's a tour de force for ScarJo.
Yeah, I bet.
Marvel Phase Boar.
Yeah.
The Longbow Hunters.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about the Longbow Hunters.
Maybe.
And maybe a little Babylon 5. I don't know.
We have spoken a bit about Longbow Hunters, but I've spoken about Longbow Hunters.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Let's just rephrase that. I've spoken about it.
I have since read it again.
Maybe you should speak about it today.
It's really awesome, and there's like longbows and hunters and comicsy things and drugs, and Green Arrow wins.
Perfect.
The end.
That's why it's so good.
Seattle, Washington.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember when Seattle was like considered this cool place to get. Like, there's such a really amazing music scene going on in Seattle.
Yeah, that's where the grunge scene arose from. Seattle, Nirvana, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think at first they were calling it like post-punk, and I saw Soundgarden in this place called Soma here in San Diego. It was on Union Street. It's gone now, but there was like a little basement, and in the basement they would have bands playing like this alcove thing, and I saw Soundgarden, and in an alcove it just sounded like tin noise, and I'm like, this is the worst fucking band I've ever heard. And then I went upstairs and like dance to 9 Inch Nails with Melissa, and and then I love the band, by the way. I freaking love the band. But yeah, just they didn't sound very good. What was Mother Love Bone or Mud Honey or whatever the fuck they were called? I can't remember now. The one
probably better than when I saw Morrissey in concert in Leeds.
Morrissey
came on, sang a couple of songs, went off stage, made us watch fucking vegetarian propaganda for an hour. Came on, sang another couple of songs, finished, and then did one song on an encore, fucked off. Cheers, Morrissey.
That's it?
He did not give a shit at all. Not a shit. This guy was, I'm turning up and getting paid and fucking off,
Yep.
So yeah, that was a great experience. Great concert. Cheers, Morrissey. It's great.
I saw the Smiths back in the day. Yeah, that was good. They didn't play a long time either, but I didn't think much of it. I know Morrissey was famous for like just blowing off gigs. You know, he'll do a couple dates and then just show up to one or something like that. Yeah.
England had just scored.
Fucking Morrissey.
Yeah.
I
I do love his music. I think his music is great.
Yeah, I fucking loved the Smiths, man. Yeah. God, I'm getting old though. You know, we're the first generation where our music was better than the generation to follow. Every generation said that, but like we're the first where we're right.
I saw a wall painting concert as well. I really enjoyed them.
Oh,
they were good.
I had tickets to Nirvana in late 1993, early 94. Can't quite remember. A guy at an AA meeting said, "Hey, I can't use the tickets. Here they are. I had to try to find somebody to go with me. I had been out of prison for like a month and a half at that point, and I just didn't feel like going alone. And I couldn't find somebody, so I blew it off. And then Kurt Cobain died. Well,
yeah, I was a young I was a teenager at the time. I was on a train going off to visit my mate. I was sat on a table in a carriage all on my own, and then this cute little girl came in. I'd say we're about the same age. She was heading to university. I was going to visit my friend at university. She sat in the one across from me. We kept like shooting each other glances and, you know, just smiling. And then after about half an hour of that, I just thought, fuck this, you know, and I just went, slid right across to her table. And then we just started talking, and we ended up talking about Kurt Cobain, Nirvana. And she was telling about how much she loved them and all this. And I was like, this was like a couple of weeks before he killed himself, but I think he attempted to kill himself a couple of weeks before he ended up doing it.
He did.
And I said, you do know he's just tried to kill himself. And she's like, what? It's like, yeah, like it was either like yesterday, because, you know, I'm old. So this was the day before mobile phones were kicking around and the internet was like kicking around. I was like, yeah, he's just tried to do himself in. She was a white girl with dreadlocks, so she would be cancelled today, of course. And so you know, we went our separate ways when the train went, and I just look back, because I think, you know, this she was lovely, she was cute, she was a lovely girl, and she was just like spilling her heart about her love for the music and all this, and I'm just thinking, fuck, 2 weeks later the guy just fucking blew his brains out, and she must have felt like fucking shit. And you know, hi, are you having fun yet?
It's Pride Month, everybody. Still,
yeah, it's Pride Month.
Still Pride Month. Just wanted to. Still
fucking Pride Month. Jesus fucking Christ, is it over yet? I mean, hail Pride Month.
Yeah. Oh, I still have these up here. Look at that.
And who's the writer and who's the showrunner?
Basha K. Ali.
Yep. Who just wrote that absolute trash third episode of Loki.
Oh, God, that was terrible, dude. I mean, the dialogue hasn't been great anyway, and it's like really for something called Loki. This should be the craziest show with an unreliable narrator. You shouldn't know, like, these are the type of shows you should be clipping out in different time periods, and you like Westworld was in season 1, and you don't know, there's been a bunch of inconnectivity that you're trying to figure out. This should be a mystery box show. It's tailor fucking made for like a Lost type of, but that takes creative intelligence, which we don't have here, and it's just this very linear Loki variant. By the way, this show's called Loki because it's about Sylvie. It's a Sylvie show. She has been the star. She has been the focus. He is a guest star in his own show, other than Well, this Loki is very sad about the dead Loki's life.
We've never seen this bait and switch happen before. Fuck.
No, we haven't. Well, I mean, very few people remember or want to remember Iron Fist season 2. Iron Fist sucked. I understand that, but Iron Fist season 2 was the biggest bait and switch I've ever seen, because he straight up like gives his power to Colleen Wing, and then at the end he like can double fist, which is always good.
Which is what every girl loves from a man.
But yeah, it was like this really, and what's her name who was playing Colleen Wing? Like you could tell she didn't work out at all. It looked like her only workout was like going to the mall, do a little shoe shopping on the weekend. But she was Game of Thrones, man. She was terrible as that too, as a sand snake.
Yeah,
she was awful. She was
the worst storyline.
Yeah, she looked like a girl from SoCal in Dorne, who could supposedly the dangerous sand snakes, Oberyn Martell's bastard daughters, and she looked like she was like Jennifer of Dorne.
Oh my god! Like, are we gonna take revenge and stuff?
Oh my god!
I don't know where I want to go. Like, it's like cold and stuff. It's like warm here.
Joffrey Baratheon, he's like kind of hot, but a dick,
Yeah. I totally like do him, but like I don't know if I like be with him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Game of Thrones season 8.
Yeah, that was Jennifer, the unknown.
That was actually proper dialogue from Game of Thrones season 8. It was that bad.
Oh, that fight between the Sand Snakes and Jaime Lannister and Bronn was I'm like, when that happened in Game of Thrones, you knew things had turned. I'm like, oh, that was embarrassingly bad. That was embarrassingly bad. And I'm like, oh, God.
I was waiting for the sound effects of Jaime going like, whoop, when the guys are like trying to get him with the sword and his hands like grabbing stuff. The blades like wiggling.
Oh.
The plot armor was strong from season 6 onwards.
It certainly was.
Like nobody's like gonna die these because we're like needsy, weezies, usies to the NZ wenzies.
Yeah, they just couldn't wait to get the fuck out. It's George's fault. So yeah, there was an article. He came out and he's all, after saying that the ending would be pretty much like his, now he's saying, well, the ending's a little different. And everybody is saying, yeah, he watched the ending of Game of Thrones, saw everybody react to it. And even though George's ending would, there'd probably be a clear path of why that happened. And he probably went, that wasn't a very good reaction. Maybe we should change things. And then took an extra 5 years. I was going to say, did he then realize, oh, wait, no, it doesn't matter because I'm never going to finish it? Pretty much. I mean, at this point, just come out and say, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my life. I tried. I did my best. It's just, maybe give us a rough plot of how it was going to end. Just a little treatment and call it a day. Call it a day. Keep your money. Reprint the first 5 books and call it the George Lucas cut. Yeah, well, yeah, maybe George Lucas cut of Rise of Skywalker. Did you know that? Maybe George Lucas will come in and cut the end of Game of Thrones. I mean, that would be great. There's a cut from a director that didn't direct the film. That's amazing. Has that ever happened before? I'm trying to think. Has another? I don't think so. No, because there's a reason why they're director's cuts. Well, Rogue One, but they were hired. It was hired by Kathleen Kennedy, Gareth Edwards, and who else? Tony Gilroy. Gareth? I'm not sure. I'll be honest. I'm not sure. But it was the original director. But they completely rewrote it from the capturing of the plans, because Darth Vader was meant to meet them on the ground, and they were meant to have a fight with Vader on the actual ground. Vader was meant to get into action quickly, and then that England 2-0, and then that was completely
quashed. And if you view the first trailer, you'll see actual footage from them coming out, running out with the plans on the beach, which of course was never in the final film.
That was the one part I wanted to see. I was so pissed when that didn't happen, and maybe that's why I was kind of meh on the movie, because I'm like, where was that beach storming the beach scene? The fucking shit. I wanted to see that. I thought it was going to be like a World War II D-Day.
Yeah, exactly. I thought we were going to see some like World War II, but with stormtrooper shit. Considering, and you're never going to believe this, folks, but the political aspect of Star Wars is it's just World War II in space.
What?
Crazy.
What? Are the stormtroopers supposed to be like the Yahtzees?
Like stormtroopers? Yeah, they were named after like stormtroopers.
So we can't have like rainbow stormtroopers then? Like,
oh, we can. Oh God, I'm so glad it's still fucking Pride Month.
It is. Well, that's, during Pride Month, I'm doing a video right now, and there's a lot of talk of transgenderism and stuff. And I'm like, I got to bleep these words out, because if you say it too much in a video, YouTube does get sensitive about that shit. I don't know what the fuck. I'm so paranoid about YouTube. I'm going to start bleeping out every word, and it's going to be, hello, my name is Gary. Beep, beep, beep. Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, thank you.
Your whole video is just gonna be Morse code.
It's gonna be. Oh, we should do that sometime.
Oh my God, you should have heard what this guy said in Morse code. It was fucking disgusting.
Yeah. So, I don't think there's gonna be a George Lucas cut of Game of Thrones. I don't. But I think there'll be.
I do. My sources tell me they're out.
They'll remake it They'll remake Game of Thrones someday, but it'll look so ridiculous. It'll be. It'll be Jane Snow, and it'll be all female or whatever. It'll be stupid. If Hollywood keeps going the way it's going.
Hey, dude. It's already starting. Sharing an image with you.
God,
this series has got to happen.
Oh dang!
Those are the bunnies that I'm liking.
Fuck yeah!
That is awesome.
That is so cool. Holy shit!
It's like a beaver. The alien's like a beaver. This is Watership Down, the director's cut.
Yep.
Because that cartoon freaked me out as a kid.
Yeah.
Holy shit, with those rabbits just tearing each other apart, man.
No, you're like, oh, look at all the bunny. Oh, they're killing each other.
They're ripping each other apart.
What?
Turn around, bright eyes. Every now and then I thought I'd turn around.
Some sick, twisted shit there. And I'm like, why has it got to do with the water ship? And I don't even know what this is. I was so young, I didn't understand.
Is it a kind of tree floating out in the
Oh my God.
Watership Down. U for Universal.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, God bless.
God bless. I'm gonna start bagging and boarding here in a second, but here's Jorge Martin. Jorge Martin.
Martin.
Show's ending went in somewhat different directions. Well, yeah, because a lot of the characters, like Stannis the Manus, is alive. Barristan Selmy is alive. And they're both major parts of the end of the Winds of Winter. So killing them off was stupid.
Killing Sebastian off like that was ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous because, yeah.
This is the greatest sword fighter that's ever lived in Essos, you know? And he goes out to a couple of fucking maskers. Fuck off. You know, Sebastian should have had the sacrifice play at the end for Daenerys. That should have been when his story ends.
Yeah, he'll probably die right before this is in a world where he finishes the book, which is not this reality. He'll probably die in the Battle of Fire before she gets back, and Victarion Greyjoy and Tyrion are there already at that battle, so they'll probably end up maybe saving Dario Naharis. I don't think he's going to die. He's a hostage right now, and they'll run Marine, what's left of it. But no, Daenerys isn't going to come back. She's got to go and get her Dothraki. I think that part of the show is kind of right. So she gets captured by the Dothraki in the Dothraki Sea, and then she'll go and get her Khalasar and then come back and do her thing. Barristan will be dead then. I hope not. I love him, man. I think he's a great character.
Somebody just sent me a meme that I cannot in any shape, way, or form share.
Oh, can you share it? Is it on Twitter?
No, they sent it to my Insta, and thank you for that anal sex with picture and calling it the real BBC. That's great. Thank you.
Wow. Is it?
There might be a face of you and there might be a face of me.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I know.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll send you a meme. Dude, that's not a meme. That's just gay pornography.
Yeah. And where are you getting that stuff, dude?
Yeah.
Not judging.
Where's your supply?
If it's your thing, bro, you go. You do you. Remember when George said last year, I did a video on it. If I don't have the Winds of Winter in hand when I arrive in the New Zealand world, you have my formal written permission to imprison me in a small cabin on White Island, which is an island overlooking the lake of sulfuric acid down there.
Yeah.
Until I'm done, just as long as the acrid fumes do not screw up my old DOS word processor, I'll be fine. Yeah, he's obviously stuck on something, and my theory has always been, I don't think the show had anything to do with it, and I think the crazy fucking SJWs who have completely not only taken over but just ruined science fiction publishing now has everything to do with why he is on writing this book, because he's now surrounded by allies and not friends who will turn on him at the drop of a hat if he writes one thing wrong.
They already have, just for mispronouncing names. So.
Yeah. So they've tried to cancel him before, and these are all the people he's supported. Some people said, yeah, George got me the job, but I denounce him mispronouncing names. It's like pieces of shit, just absolute disloyal, inhuman pieces of shit. Yeah,
I mean, welcome to the far left, and have a nice day.
Yeah. So that
everything that you do is wrong. Everything that you say will be scrutinized. Don't worry about our hypocrisy. Just worry about yourself being attacked. That's all. What a wonderful world.
We didn't gatekeep. That's kind of what my next video is about. We didn't gatekeep. We were cool. We're like, hey, everybody can be fans. Everybody can be fans. And they don't want to be fans. They want to come in and fundamentally change the stuff they supposedly liked, that they bought a couple of pop vinyls or a t-shirt or watched a couple of episodes of Game of Thrones, or watched YouTube videos on what the book is about. Didn't really read it. Don't really fucking care. Nor do they have the money for it.
Watched Emergency Awesome.
Watched Emergency Awesome after every episode. Yeah.
I know everything there is to know about this now.
Charlie told me.
Yeah. And he was told by other people.
No, when I was reviewing Game of Thrones, people would come in and go, this, this theory. And I'm like, God, that sounds exactly like what Charlie said on Emergency.
I was a Nerd Soup guy when it came to Game of Thrones.
I remember Nerd Soup. Yeah.
I'd watch my episode. I'd watch the episode, then I'd go wait for the Nerd Soup take on it the next day.
Yeah, Charlie used to give his take on stuff way back when, and then he just started going, this happened, and maybe he'll say that's kind of cool once in a while, but that's it. And I was looking for people who had a take on Game of Thrones, and I don't know. I just went to Reddit. I was at the Free Folk. The Free Folk was fucking, back in the day, was beautiful. It was salty. Filled with fucking memes, very critical of the show, but they also got the best spoilers. Holy shit. You want to talk about fucking spoilers? Free Folk was the best. There was this guy named Dr. Freaky. He was a Spanish doctor, so he would do videos in Spanish, and then some freak would translate them like within a half hour and have them up, and those spoilers would be up, and they were always spot on. They could not keep a lid on fucking Game of Thrones. For the life of them, they couldn't keep a lid, and the plots came out like months before the show came out. It was crazy.
Yeah, I remember when the plot leaked for the final couple of episodes. And I was on the team that were just like, this cannot be real. This is stupid. This can't be what happens. And then the show happened, and then it happened, and you're just like, oh no. It's like that penultimate episode. I was just watching it, and like the first half was like, okay, the assault on King's Landing was all right. And then when Daenerys is just there, and she's just like psyching up, and I'm just like, and then she flies off. I'm like, oh no, she's going for the keep, and then she just started annihilating the town. I couldn't stop laughing. Couldn't stop laughing. I was like, it just devolved into a comedy, and I was just pissing myself laughing. And they're all running in the streets like, getting burnt to a cinder. And I'm just like, going, because it was just so stupid. Oh.
At that point, I was like, yeah, it was so dumb. I didn't like the 7th season. So the 8th season to me was just like, I want to see a good battle and something that just fucking makes sense. None of this traveling crazy, because let's be real, folks. Season 6 was bad, how they did Rickon, but it still was linear enough. But season 7, people were teleporting, and fucking Gendry runs back to the wall to send a raven to fucking Daenerys and I talked about it in a video. I'm like, motherfucker, that's like running to the border of or the top of South America, the South American continent, sending a raven to Cape Horn, and then fucking she gets on a dragon and flies all the way up the sack while somebody's standing on a lake of ice surrounded by zombies, and they're just 5 days. It's stupid. It was stupid. Have a maester. You know what? You write in a maester and you have him fucking bring ravens. That's all you had to fucking do. And that one maester gets fucking killed and sends off one fucking raven. Boom. That at least makes a little more sense. Have Daenerys not sitting at fucking Dragonstone. By the way, it's Dragonstone. So yeah, the size of Westeros is supposed to be the size of South America. And then she's on an island, which is a little south of that, pretty much, maybe a little north, but it was stupid. It was just fucking stupid. And all of a sudden, Jon and Daenerys meet, and then you're McQueen, and then there's boat. They had boat sex, and all of a sudden they're like, it was so fucking. Remember,
I'm gonna put my bow into your stern.
Yeah. So I was expecting something good, and
and Peter Dinklage just like looked on as if something was going to happen that never happened.
That never happened. Yeah, like he was going to be jealous. We're like, got something, you know. So I know when I heard that the third episode of season 6 was the most expensive episode and the episode the most time into, I knew I was like, they're gonna kill the fucking Night King in this episode. They're gonna kill the fucking Night King in one episode. Are you fucking and what? And then
I thought that I thought that Winterfell was gonna get ransacked. I thought it was going to get absolutely overturned, and they would just run,
yeah,
and literally they were just retreating on the dragons away, and you know, everyone was just getting massacred and turned into a White Walker, and then they would just head down towards King Landing. And I thought that the last episode was going to be the White Walkers all outside King's Landing, which was now going to be covered in snow because of the White Walkers advance, and it was just like Daenerys and Jon Snow and maybe a couple of others that had survived with the dragons. Well, yeah, dragon, but no,
no.
Jon Snow decided to shout at one instead. You know that thing that they've been building up to? With the Valyrian steel sword. And the only thing that actually made the White Walkers worried and scared of Jon Snow. Fuck that! No, let's just not pay that off at all.
And the reason they didn't pay it off? Intersectional feminism.
Yeah.
Want to give it to the white guy.
Even though Arya's story ended in the previous episode when she killed the Frey family, that was her story was then she had one more name on a list, and that was Cersei.
No, and they've foreshadowed in the books that Arya never gets back with anybody. She dies alone. It's supposed to be a tragically sad story, and then eventually, like, maybe Jon finds her dead body.
Yeah,
with Needle. You know, it's supposed to be this bitter fucking sweet thing. And Arya's story, they made her into this Mary Sue and Batman. No, it's supposed to be a fucking sad story. It's supposed to be a story of horror. She watched her fucking dad die, and then got there when her fucking mom and her brother died, and it just carved a husk out of her soul. Like she's a soulless, she's nothing anymore, and she just turns into a heartless fucking killer. It'll never finish. I love the setup. I do. I think the books are fucking great. I even like the books that people don't like. I like the long meander, except for the Dorne storyline. That one I don't. It's going fucking nowhere. It's pointless. He just wanted to put in another female character. He needed another female character, so he put in another female character. That's it. That's all it's there for, and it's meandering around doing fucking nothing. I know Preston Jacobs has tried to make sense out of it, but it makes sense if there's going to be like 8 more books. It doesn't make sense if there's only going to be 2 more books and you're coming up on the end. And this grand, I mean, this grand schemer, Doran Martell, is an idiot. There's no grand scheming there, but I digress. Yeah. So I thought when I heard that the fucking Night King when I figured out he was going to die in that one episode, I'm like, they better not fucking do it. And they fucking did it. I was in shock. I was like, holy shit. They really just fucked this show. They did it. Fuck The Sopranos. Fuck everything else. This is the worst ending to a fucking show ever. And then fighting the fucking hype for a few months of people going, it was good. It was good. It was good. No, it sucked. You're right. You know, that like was months of that. And now nobody gives a shit. And HBO is making another show, dumping tons of money into a Targaryen show.
Oh, geez,
fucking Targaryen show. I'm not. The only thing I like about the Targaryens is their past, the Valerians, the Atlantis. They were a highly advanced civilization that was dragon tamers and spells and shit that blew up 400 years ago because all the slaves revolted, supposedly. And there were horrible people, but they're supposed to be the elves of Westeros.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
with that purple eyes and shit.
The purple eyes and no fucking Lady Stoneheart, which is the coolest part of the fucking story. This fucking zombie half alive Catelyn Stark, who's just all that's left of her is vengeance.
Yeah.
She doesn't feel anything other than she's hanging the shit out of people. She's killed a bunch of Freys already. She's got the Brotherhood without banners basically doing her bidding. Half of them left because they didn't like it. They're like, no, she's a little too dark for me. Like Anguy, he leaves. And Lemon Cloak stays around because he's a bastard, and Thoros Amir is still there. Yeah, it's a cool story that will never end.
Remember when the Red Priestess just walked outside and dropped dead?
Melisandre. Oh, I love Melisandre did terrible things, but there's a chapter where you get in her head and you understand, like, she's just a zealot. So if you're a red priest, you're a slave. They buy you and they yeah. So she was bought into that. But she the coolest thing is she can practice. She knows magic. Most of her stuff is bullshit trickery, but she knows actual magic. It's very difficult, and she's not very good at it. She thinks she's like really good at it, and she's not. She's pretty bad. And Stannis is fucking awesome. Stannis is this hard ass son of a bitch that will not quit, even at that, like, he is on the brink of defeat all the time, and he's just wills himself to victory sometimes, and it's fucking great. And he's such an asshole. He's such an asshole all the time. And Theon is fucked up. Theon has no teeth. He has barely any fingers. He has white hair. He looks like a 75-year-old man in the books. And he's just completely screwed up. He has a terrible memory. You find out that his uncle Euron like diddled him when he was a kid. Euron is this great villain in the books. That's another thing fucked up. Euron is this like wizard, pirate, necromancer, pedo. Yeah, he's the worst villain you can possibly imagine. And he's got like a Valerian steel suit of armor, right? Because he actually did go to Valeria. He's like the one guy who went there, and he's got this fucking dragon binding horn that he sends his brother to go. He sends his brother to go fetch him Daenerys and her dragons. And he's all, just blow this horn. And the problem is when you blow the horn, you die. Yeah. So it's cool. It's cool. We'll never know the ending though. We'll never know. Fucking Lord of the Rings.
No. But
no. I just when that part. You remember when that part where the girl came out of fucking nowhere and killed the fucking Night King, and then I argued with Cecil for 2 hours.
Well, I was just gonna say, remember when what's the majiggy? Brannon Stark just sat in a chair and did fuck all.
Oh, my favorite part is when he said, Theon, you're a good man, and sent him off to his death. That if you just would have waited 5 minutes,
if you just wait 2 minutes, you're gonna live. But fuck, go on, mate.
Remember when Jaime and Cersei could have just stepped 5 feet to the left and they would have survived?
No coming back. The rage. This is what drives good men cruel.
Remember this fucking show?
Who wants to be a superhero? Yeah. Nobody anymore. Not after Marvel and DC have fucked it all up.
Remember this She-Hulk?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I found my Civil War variants. I was wondering where those were.
She didn't get her powers through her period.
Nope.
I'm just gonna like fliesies on my Underarm hezzy wezzies.
Oh, fuck Game of Thrones.
Woo!
You want to let's read some questions and we'll
Yeah.
get some reviews for fucking Black
Look, kids, we got 3 new 1 in 6s there.
Oh, we do? Oh,
and
shit. Look at that.
Already for tomorrow. Might show one off like it's all wet Gary's whistle. Oh damn, I want that chair.
Oh, is that the one that's like the green vigilante? I love it when
It's the green vigilante.
Green vigilante.
You just come in from Ecuador. You're not Stephen Ramel. Nice. You're gonna read some Salpers.
We're gonna read some Salpers.
You're gonna read some Super Chats, like, you know.
I gotta get. Oh shit! Leave my camera alone, fucking hand.
Boobies.
Boobies. Yeah, I signed the petition finally to keep nudity out of Lord of the Rings, and I said,
okay.
Bring boobs back to HBO, but keep them the fuck out of Lord of the Rings. By the way, I'm still making videos, folks, and I'm gonna come out with one. Oh, how is the goddamn StreamYards? I freaking hate you. You suck. There we go. Sorry I've taken his name in vain, Father. Where was I?
Sorry, my eyes are a little bit because of the pollen count. We got a pollen count going on here.
I'm a little
and I'm messing with my eyes.
I was up until 3 in the morning watching Babylon 5. So
you're ahead of me now. I gotta do a spurt.
I'm just ahead of you though. I mean, just like a couple episodes.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it because I fucking now I'm I got
and now the end is
DVD.
Hey,
DVDs. I like fuck it. I want like this is I love it. I will watch it again and again. I am now like hooked. There's something really fucking look at that right there. Look at that. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, baby. Look at that Batman. Look at that Superman, man. £1 each.
No shit.
From a charity shop.
Oh, that's great.
I said they're in the window, and I was like, "How much is that Superman and Batman?"
Jamie and Cersei's show death. Gravity sends its regards from Holy Moly for 5 Canadian pesos.
Yeah, I remember when Jamie went through that whole arc of redemption, then when I want to stick my dick in my sister.
Yeah.
Just imagine that you're so bad in bed that the first thing Jamie wants to do when he's pulled out is fuck his sister.
Oy, oy, oy.
Wow. That's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt.
Oh, hey, remember Doctor Doom? You know we have 21 MCU movies, and we've never ever seen the biggest fucking villain in the universe, and he'll probably be a POC woman when he's cast.
Oh, I hope so. I'd be very disappointed if she, her, they wasn't.
Remember Fantastic Four, Marvel's first family?
When they were white.
When they were white, and pretty much every fucking story in the Marvel universe spawned out of this comic book series, you know, for the most part. Black Panther, Namor, just to name a couple.
Don't worry, things are changing. Times they are changing.
Yeah. What do we got?
You see the Judge Dredd thing?
Remember A-Rod when he sucked the guy's dick and
he came on his face.
You snorted.
I know I snorted. Got cock.
Oh, remember the time? Remember when they were like the Suicide Squad of Marvel, and they were kind of cool. And yeah,
actually, I don't. But okay. Gonna have to take your word for it on that one.
I like this era of, dude. It was a great time to be selling comic books from 2003 to like 2011 to 12 was unfucking believable, dude. It was great. It was like the last golden age. It was the last.
Yeah.
It was.
I actually said that in my video today. So I was talking about Dread for a bit, and that was 2012. I said I think 2012 was the last normal year.
Yeah.
I think after 2012 was a really good year. I remember 2012 being a very good year. But after 2012, it all just went really fucking weird.
The Mayan calendar was fucking right, brah. And it was not about some asteroid. It was the fucking SJW. They were warning us about this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they were warning us about the SJW invasion. It wasn't the world that was coming to... Well, the world was coming to an end. It just wasn't a physical ending to the world. It was a mental and... Yeah, baby.
Blank on the back, too.
There's a really nice 1 in 6 Punisher War Machine.
Oh,
Punisher and War Machine order and armor, and I'm really kind of thinking about that one. Considering I've just got like $50 compensation from Sideshow.
Oh, nice. Oh, look at this one.
For sending me a load of shit. Oi! Remember when Peter Parker was Spider-Man?
Remember when Peter Parker was Spider-Man and he was fucking cool and he wasn't like this little cuck? Remember when Thor was fucking gone for the longest time? Thor was out of Marvel Comics for a long time after Thor Ragnarok, the real one, from Avengers Disassembled, which is a great comic book run. And he came back, kind of, in Civil War. Yeah.
Then Jane Foster got cancer and took over.
Yeah, and took over, and then Marvel got cancer, and
and it's still there.
Civil War #1,
still hanging. Damn.
And then here's Peter Parker. I hated this dude. Couldn't stand it.
Oh, where he reveals his identity.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Cover that. Like, that's a good cover. That's a good cover. Look at that.
Thor's a literal god.
He's like a literal god.
He's like a literal.
Oh, god. Look, the real Marvel.
The real Marvel. The return. The return of Marvel.
Remember?
And this time he's not Annette Bening.
Good old days. Good old days.
Oh, I remember comics were fun, kids. Remember when they were fun and you couldn't wait to buy one and get it home and read it cover to cover and then probably go through it again to see if you missed any references and
put it in your bag and board and put it in your box.
Yep. Then you'd bag and board it and you put it away.
Alphabetize it, and then you like either wrote down your inventory or you typed it. Yeah.
I had a pad. I had an inventory pad.
I did. I just wrote it all down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Now it's quite easy because my pull list is nothing.
That's better. I hate that fucking cord.
I said now it's quite easy because my pull list is now nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. Right. It's actually yeah. I've dusted a lot of my comic collection, and I'm gonna keep a bunch of stuff, but a bunch of stuff's gonna get sold in the store. A bunch of stuff. Here, let's read some here, and then we're gonna get to our Black Widow. As after pre-ordering my first 1/6 figure of Black Transcended, aka Black Suit Superman, I just bought a Hot Toys Batfleck, says David the Batman, for $4.99.
Which one though? Which Batfleck did you get? Because there's multiple.
There's multiple. I mean,
I think there's 5 Batflecks, 1 in 6.
My favorite one was the Suicide Squad version of Batman. I think that's the best one with the best costume, in my opinion. I don't like the Justice League one. It's too much of a black costume. I have it, but I was kind of disappointed with it. So
I agree. I think it is a bit too dark. I much preferred the first one. Hey, did you see? I don't know if you've seen this, dear boy. I will show you what a third-party company have announced for Batman. And when I saw this, I was just like, here we go. Here, I'll share this. And by the way, yes, you get the suit with it.
It's a Bruce Wayne.
It's the Batfleck. It's where Batfleck keeps his suit, and you get the suit with it. And that's the Batman v Superman suit as well. Look at that.
Do they have a Bruce Wayne Batfleck?
Well, in the Justice League, you get the Bruce Wayne head. So you can buy, there's a third-party company, 1 in 6 Outfitters, which sells his suit. So I've ordered one of those. So I need just to purchase a body, and then I can actually create Bruce Wayne.
Send me that link where you can get the body. Do you get a trench coat too? I wonder. Do they send you? Oh, I don't need a trench coat.
Oh, you get the suit, and you get the coat to go, the cashmere coat to go over it as well.
Bat Night Garage. Yeah, send me that link, dude. Email it to me.
Yeah. Will do.
That's awesome. And good. The Batfleck Batman is a fucking good looking Batman. It's the best, most comic accurate Batman put to screen. Period. End of story. And that's counting Sparkle Boy that's coming out later this year. That has. I don't like the costume. I don't. Now, I could change my mind once I see the movie.
I don't like that the bat symbol doesn't have ears.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like an OCD thing, which is fucking. It's like flicking my dick, you know. And just like stop flicking my balls. Wear your ears. Wear your fucking ears.
I thought Night King would take his dragon to King's Landing and turn its millions populations into White Walkers while Winterfell getting assaulted. Yeah, Jason, a lot of people thought that, and that would have actually like militarily been a really good move to go out and it's basically like your jets go out and bomb certain strategic locations, so you don't have to waste any actual people infantry. And no, the Night King was an idiot. He was a fucking idiot.
Whose plan we'll never know.
And we'll never fucking know, because the Assassin's Blade and the girl who came out of nowhere, and they wanted to subvert your expectations. And Dan and Dave, who haven't done much work since, by the way.
No. I think they didn't make a guest star appearance in Westworld.
They did. They cameoed,
and that's it. I think that's pretty much been it. Got fired from Star Wars.
Fucking Westworld. Do you believe Westworld got a 4th fucking season?
Dude, I couldn't make it through season 1.
I like season 1. Season 2 terrible. Season 3 was Star Trek Discovery bad. Yeah. Aren't you guys looking forward to the MCU? By the way, hang on. That was Jason Platten for $5. Thank you, Jason.
Hey, Dan Baskin chat.
What's up, Dan? 10 May for $10 says, aren't you guys looking forward to the MCU introduction of the Latin X-Men led by Professor Malcolm X as they battle the forces of Magnegro, yeah. Featuring fan favorite characters Biclops and Wolverina.
Well, you joke, but now is X-23 or whatever. She's just known as Wolverine now in Marvel, isn't she?
She is Wolverina. She pretty much is. Well, she's Wolverine now, although she was X-23 and she was just fine on her own, right? So she could she had her own agency as a superhero. She had her own first appearance.
No, because agency only belongs to white male characters.
It does. So they did the same thing they did to Sam, right? Right? They just passed him down another mantle, and then he doesn't have any agency anymore either. But it's a victory for everyone. It's a victory to make the Doctor female, or now every villain for a white character is going to be a woman in every fucking movie from here on out. Did you see like Helen Mirren's going to be
Helen Mirren, yeah.
And what's her name? I can't remember, from Charlie's Angels, is going to be the villain. So every
is Elizabeth.
Oh no, the what's it? Goddamn, I'm getting old. She's really hot. She was in Kill Bill. Asian.
Lucy Liu.
Lucy Liu. Thank you.
I like Lucy Liu.
I like Lucy Liu too.
Now then, Elementary. That was a good spin.
It wasn't bad for like a procedural show.
Yeah,
it was fine. Yeah,
procedural show, and you make a modern day Sherlock Holmes, and because you're doing so much change to the character, you go with a female Watson, but it worked because Lucy Liu's a good actress and the character was well thought out. And for a procedure, it was good.
Yeah. I mean, once in a while I watched it when it was on, just kick back and watched it. Didn't hate it, but I mean,
I preferred it to Moffat's in the end.
Well, I heard
Moffat
yeah,
stupid.
I didn't even watch the last couple of episodes. You guys
didn't mix out.
No. Andre Anderson, off topic. Tarantino and Rogan released a podcast. A very good listen. And they both said something separately that we're going to listen to today in a little bit. So that's good. You guys wanted to, and thank you, Andre Anderson, for the $5. Captain
Dude,
Spot.
there's $100 super chat just hanging there, man.
Oh, I'll get it. Thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't see it because I'm going on a different thing. Oh, there it is. I see it now. Thank you. You guys, Captain Spire for $5. You guys wanted to leave Twitter anyway. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise. If you stay off and move to alternate platforms, will all follow? Well, I don't think you'll all follow. I know some of you will though. But it turns out like a percentage follows, and Az doesn't have a choice right now. Okay. And I do. There we go. So Athena wait, make sure I don't hit the fucking clown horn. $100. Says, hail Gary, great to spend this afternoon with you. Babylon 5 update, please. And oh my God, your video on Judge Dredd was great.
Oh, thank you.
What was your Judge Dredd video? Did that come out?
Well, you know that they've been kicking around the rumor of a Mega City 1 TV series.
Forever, yeah.
And Carl Urban has expressed an interest in it. Well, according to IMDb, the latest on it is they've reworked the premise.
Oh.
And they want it to focus on America Java, a character that had about, 6 episodes in 2000 AD, because they are a Puerto Rican female woman of color type of business. That's the latest. And they're trying to ship it around to see to see if there's any interest. And I don't know. Sorry, I actually did a little bit of editing because I was only going to do one video today because I had this stream. So I actually did a little bit of editing. Not a lot of it. I did a little bit of editing in the video.
What's wrong with editing videos? Oh my god!
They're just like slapping a picture, chatting, cutting, rendering. But you know, this one I did some like stuff.
Good. I recorded, and I'm gonna watch it as I'm done. And fucking Judge and Dredd is one of the greatest comic book movies ever made. Period.
Hell yeah!
And I would have loved to have seen the fucking TV show, but not now. I don't care. I don't want to see anything fucking adapted right now. I think there should be a moratorium. But no, yesterday I recorded we spoke yesterday, right? So right when we hung up the phone, I started recording, had a little dinner, and we were recording till like midnight, 12:30, decided, well, I'm done recording. I finished I have to throw pictures in and some audio clips. I'll do that tomorrow. Babylon 5 is calling. And I watched, but guys, I'll be honest with you. The reason my video production is slowed a little bit is because I've been watching the shit out of Babylon 5.
It's like a few weeks ago, there's like a week where there's just like virtually nothing that's come out from me. That's because I was just spamming Babylon 5 for 2 days.
Yeah, dude.
That's where I went from season 1 halfway through to season 3, episode 17, you know.
So you're going to get like a normal video from me, probably a low tier content one for me concerning some Hollywood stuff that I think I have a lot to say. But yeah, I've been watching Babylon 5. Hey, people gave me super chats asking me to watch Babylon 5 multiple times for years on this channel. I listen to the audience. Unlike Disney, unlike the BBC, unlike CBS. I listen. And you were right. See, you know what the great thing about being a fallible boomer is I don't have to be right all the time.
Being a boomer is great.
Being a boomer is fucking awesome, dude.
I love being a boomer.
I don't have to be perfect.
You know why? There's never any expectations.
No, none at all. Just got to keep them realistic. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm not going to change much. Not going to take anything over. I'm certainly not leading shit. I think we said this already. There's no blacklist. There's a shit list. I think everybody's got a shit list, right? You got a shit list?
There's never been a blacklist. I found it quite funny recently. Some fucking absolute spam tard was crying, I'm being cancelled. And no. Cancellation is when people verbally go after you and try and destroy you. No. Somebody just keeping quiet and not wanting somebody that you think's an absolute piece of shit to have anything to do with your channel is not canceling them. It's protecting your brand from a poisonous fucking rat. So,
or protecting yourself.
Yeah, there's people, you know, this just in everyday life, you know, wherever you work, whether you go to school, college, there's always going to be people that you just don't gravitate towards.
Yeah. For like I said, in recovery, you got to remove people out of your life and you got to make tough decisions. You got to remove people out of your life that don't have your best interests at heart, my best interests at heart. And some of us did that a long time ago around here, like a long time ago. So, you know, there it is. But yeah, do you have a shit list, Az?
Well, I mean, there's people that I love working with. Mm-hmm. You know, I love working with. Obviously, we clearly love working with each other because we do so much stuff together. You know, we love working with each other. We call each other virtually every day. We speak virtually every day. You know, we get on well. We're fucking friends. You know, crazy. But Gary's the fucking ringleader of some fucking cult, apparently. You know, I love doing stuff with Critical Drinker. It's just so much fun doing it. I love doing stuff with Mauler. You know, I think these guys' brains are just, I love their brain. I just love the way that they you know, reason their argument, whether I agree with it or disagree with it. I think it's phenomenal. You know, people like Eric July is so raw and just so fucking truth-ridden. They put a fucking smile on my face. I love Friday Night Tights. You know, Ryan, he's great. He's so funny. He's Ryan's great because he acts perpetually pissed off, and really he's fucking loving it, you know. And you know, Odin is just an absolute sweetheart. Comics is just a fucking lovely guy. You know, Jeremy's a fun fucking dude to be with, and he knows how to push people's buttons.
And he's a big old fucking.
Oh, he's a softy poo.
Yeah, you know, hate to break.
He was the first Jeremy. I shouldn't probably say this, but I'm gonna. He was the first person to fucking text me when I got banned on Twitter. When I got banned from Twitter, my phone went off, and it was fucking Jeremy. And it was just, "Are you all right?" That was the message.
I'm devastated right now.
I'm so devastated. I just don't know what to do with myself.
I can't even. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think my response was, "Lol, I'm fine." You know, and then, you know, there's like just some guy, Yellow Flash. You know, I just love watching their fucking stuff. I love it when they're on Friday Night Tights. Kerry is just, I adore her. Yeah. You know, I'd love to do some more stuff with her because I think I love where she's come from. I love the fact that she was an SJW that's, you know, turned her, you know, opened her eyes and just seen the light. And I think she's so intelligent and brings so much to the table. There's Dan Vask, you know, Dan's just a sweetheart. Great, you know, there's loads of people that I just love working with, and I have the pleasure of doing that. And these are great people. I mean, you know, when the cameras aren't on, and you know, we you know, talk around the back, you know, and these people are just as fucking nice. Then there's no pretense. There's no kind of veneer that they put on. Kerry Smith. There's no unsafe space. There's no veneer that they put on. There's no, you know, pretense that they put on. They're just great people. And so I just want to focus on that. I just want to focus on working with great people. And you know, there's a couple of people that I don't want to. Yeah. You know, there's a couple of people that I don't. And that's not like, you know, I don't say anything external about them. That's not what I'm about. I just don't think that we would gel. I don't think, you know, that they would be good for me.
It's not a good fit.
Yeah. So and that's just life. That's just life.
Yes. With every relationship, there's somebody at work like you work with, right? But you're not going to go like have drinks with them just because you know, like, you know, it's just like life. We're fans. We're different people. Like really didn't think about having a shit list until very recently. And you know, the thing is, I have my opinions, we have our opinions on shit, and we generally it's not important. It's not important to what we're doing. It's not important it's not cool to go after other YouTubers for the most part. And it really, unless they're like outright saying they're going to false flag or false report you, I mean, you know, it depends on, you know, I'm not here. There's unwritten rules, and people can do what they want, and they have their own boundaries for each channel, and that's fine. And I have been fortunate, like Az, to have meet a lot of really fucking cool people through the chat and through the streams, and it's 99.99% been fucking positive. And you're right. That's what we have to focus on going forward. And really everything else is incidental. A lot of it is Twitter bullshit theater too. Just to remind y'all that. I'm sure most of you know this already, but if anybody had a real grievance or a genuine grievance, Az's DMs are open. My DMs are open. Jeremy's DMs are open. You can email any of us and ask us anything at any time. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. But like, if you have a question, go ahead, including another content creator. If you need something clarified, fucking email me. Let's talk. I'll talk to anybody. Absolutely anybody. If they, but never has anybody reached out about anything to me, another content creator, about anything. So that's the way it is, because they don't want to. They want to do it out there, and they don't want to do it behind the scenes, right? And do it like men or adults, and that's not the shit I'm into playing. And it's like I said, it's been very recent. For the most part, I've never. There hasn't been a problem. Had a problem 3 years ago on this channel. And it was not with me. It didn't involve me at all, but there was a problem, right? There was a problem with a mod and another channel, and it turned into this big fucking thing. And I just told them to work it out as adults, and they couldn't. So I moved on. And this was my channel had a couple thousand subs. So this was a long time ago. Not that long, but internet years. But I learned my lesson. I'm like, that's God, because it was so time consuming and distracting, and I had yeah.
Drama bores me.
Yep, it bores me.
You know, and you know, I know there's somebody on Twitter that's been, you know, posting stuff about me and admitting to flagging my tweets, you know, and stuff like that, and all that kind of stuff. But you know, I don't care. You know, I don't care. This month, folks, is going to be my second or third best month ever on YouTube, because I just want to focus on fucking making content for you guys. I just want to focus on making content for you guys that I hope you're going to enjoy. I just focus on doing streams, which I hope you're going to be entertained about, you know, and I'll just leave people to scream into the void and waste their own time, basically.
Yep. I've been watching Babylon 5.
Yeah. So, you know, for me, it's like, you know, okay, good luck. But you know, I'm focusing on what matters, and what matters is building my channel. You know, I've got a second channel opening at the beginning of July that's going to deal with just hobby stuff. It's already built, folks. It's already built. I just got to create the trailer, and there's some stuff that I need to fix before I do the trailer. And that's just going to be a little channel that's just going to deal with all the shit that I love, you know? 1 in 6 collection, Lego, Warhammer, just all the stuff, you know, all the little geeky stuff, which I just love to do. And that's just going to be a little channel where we can kind of have a bit of a nerd out. So I just that's what I got to focus on. I just got to focus on me and you know, doing what I can to make sure that everyone's got something, hopefully, that they're going to like.
Yeah, we're here to have fun. Yeah. We're to have fun. And like all that other stuff is such a, you know, it's like I said, it's a giant distraction for everything, and it's not very entertaining to most people. There are distinct different audiences on. There's your live stream audience, there's hardcore audience, live stream audience, video audience. The vast majority is the video audience, who are just like the casuals who pop in. But the hardcore one is the one that supports you, and that's the one, you know, you get the best feedback from, obviously, because they're in communication, the one you want to listen to. And then there's the as Young Ripa puts it appropriately, the ankle biters. And just don't sweat the ankle biters, that's all. So
and Young Ripa's been killing it at the minute, folks.
Woo! Well, dude,
he has been fucking. His stuff has just been white hot.
When he's been right for a fucking year. Well, he's just listen.
He's just right.
Ripa was just fucking right. Okay. Now that we know that unspecified thing, you know,
You have unknown origin.
Of unknown origin. We know the origin, shall we say? Yeah, he was fucking right, and he should be taking some victory laps for that. I'm certain Martin delayed Elden Ring. F you, Martin. Marksman of 117B for $2. Yeah, he had something to do with some fucking video game. I wish he hadn't fucking touched the video game. I mean, no offense. Fuck Elden Ring. I want Winds of Winter done. What the fuck? He is 60. He's old. He needs to only be working on Winds of Winter. He's got plenty of money. If you can buy on eBay a fucking train engine, like a fucking locomotive engine, dude, you can just write the book, hire people. You don't need to be developing shows. You're not fucking 35 anymore. No, at this point, he's an asshole. He's a fucking asshole. I defended this guy up until about 6 years. A 6-year wait. I'm like, this is a complicated book. I understand. And he writes, his writing is better than a lot. So I understand that. But after that point, I was like, nope, now you're fucking off. Now you're going on your Not a blog and talking about buying choo-choo trains and fucking going to this convention and that convention and fucking starting fucking developing 5 shows for HBO. I mean, for what?
I just don't see how this Targaryen show is going to be a success. I just don't.
No White Walkers, no wall.
Dragons.
It's all going to be the political intrigue of the really awful Targaryens, and essentially these are just awful people doing awful things to each other. And I know some people like that. I think people are kind of over that shit though. By the way, it ends horribly. It ends horribly. Pretty much everybody dies. All the fucking dragons die. And there's a couple of survivors that barely survive. One's horribly scarred for life. And that's the end of their fucking story. It's not this feel good, victorious, we're going to fight, because that's not what he writes. That's not what he writes. He is very, very, very nihilistic, if that's a word, nihilistic. He's not that writer who's going to write your very linear, fun fantasy story. The Targaryen Civil War, known as the Dance of the Dragons, was really what diminished the Targaryens and eventually led to the dragons dying. And there might have been a conspiracy about it, but most of them was just them being a bunch of assholes to each other. And there were too many of them. And a lot of them are crazy because they're interbred. It's just not that interesting of a story. I know some people are into it. I think it's really boring. To
me though, it's that season 8 just killed everything, killed any interest in Game of Thrones.
6, 7, and 8, but yeah.
So, I mean, mostly for me it was 8. I could tolerate stuff in 6 and 7, but 8 I just thought it was a clown season, just a clown season. And so to kind of go back to that
the funniest thing,
but it's not even written by George Martin either. So,
I mean, there's a good showrunner involved. There's like competent people involved in the show, but competent people are writing woke shit right now. But the funniest thing, and I got to give credit, Scott from Sporking News reminded me of this because, like, I'm not that into the Dance with the Dragons fucking story. It's just it's a history, and Targaryens are the least interesting thing to me. So apparently there's Corlys Valerian. It's a character named Corlys Valerian, right? He's a Valerian. Which means, and George is very specific of what the Valerians look like, because they're white and they got blonde hair. Well, they decided to cast the black guy and turn him into a Valerian, right? Gave him blonde dreadlocks.
Yeah.
But the best part about it is in the Dance with the Dragon storyline, there is a paternity dispute, shall we say? There's a dispute on who is a baby's father. and they don't know which one. It's going to be pretty easy to figure out if one guy is black and one guy is white. I'm just going to say that if you're questioning who the baby's father is, and one guy is black and one guy is white, it's going to make it a little easier to figure out. So like the one character that they probably shouldn't have fucking race swapped, they did, which was hilarious.
That would. Oh my god, no! Because it'll come out Mocha, and then they'll just be like, you can't judge just because you can't judges. Oh, I hate TV.
I do too.
I've started watching as well Person of Interest again because that was some good TV.
That was good TV. And guess who ran that show?
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, and the same people who ran fucking Westworld. And what happened was Nolan handed the reins of Westworld over to his wife, Lisa Joy, who was just his writing partner, but he was kind of in control. And he, because of Me Too Time's Up, he's all, you run the show now.
Oh, damn.
And that's what happened.
Women ruin everything, don't they, Gary?
They do, which is the name of our, well, you're not there anymore. So,
our Whisper Network.
Our Whisper Network, our ASMR network. That's the way I like it. It's our Friday Night Lights chat room. It's called Women Ruin Everything.
The green room, basically, is cool.
It's the green room where the guests come in and stuff.
And we call it Women Ruin Everything. Which is great when you got people like, Lauren Chen on this week and
I know.
Chrissy Mayer on next week.
We title this week's episode Women Ruin Everything Part 1.
Yeah. Women Ruin Everything Part 2 coming next.
We need to find a new green room that you can get in. And so,
I know. I'm just like hovering.
Well, I mean, you're not going to make another account and go back, are you?
No.
Okay.
No, I believe there are some fake accounts out there at the moment. I hand on heart promise you, none of them are me. I have not got a second Twitter account. I have no plans to create a second account. As somebody said in the chat earlier, in a super chat, I believe, and I am legitimately taking this as a blessing. We were wanting to get off anyway. We were meant to get off at the beginning of this year, and then the whole pile of business happened with Twitter and Amazon and whatnot. So that sort of
was bullshit.
Scuppered that. And then we have been talking in recent weeks, and I've been talking on my, like Subnautica streams about moving away anyway to get onto Instagram and get off Twitter. So I'm actually taking it as a positive thing that it's kind of been taken out of my hands, and something that was going to happen that could have dragged on for months and months and months has now just happened. Yeah. So yeah. And I don't miss it at all. No. It's been fine. Nicholas Horton for £5. Hail Gary, WitcherCon is July 9th. There'll be a season 2 panel there. We'll find out how bad it'll be if they drop a trailer or not. I'm sure they will. They're done with Principle. It's going to be out in October along with Cobra Kai. And it's going to be it's going to be worse than season 1. That's what I've heard. The Grizzly, I'm sorry, Nicholas, but yeah, we'll find out July 9th. It's a virtual con, right? Is it a virtual con? They need to. We don't need virtual cons anymore. They're already talking about some Delta thing like that. But I'm telling you what, people aren't going to be locked down again. I don't think. The Grizzly for $10 says, "Hey Gary, I know you're getting into retro TV. What do you think of the Battlestar Galactica 04 or original? I also can't wait for Hollywood to destroy itself with identity politics in 2022 reboot. Oh, the reboot of Battlestar Galactica is going to be a disaster. It's going to be fucking terrible. Oh, that's going to be a woke mess. I love BSG. I love both versions. Love it. Think it's fucking great. Edward James Olmos as Adama is right up there. Godlike. Yeah.
I mean, he's not Captain Kirk, but he's fucking close for me.
Lorne Green and James Earl Osmos, holy fucking shit.
Yep.
2 absolute leg ends, mate.
Fucking.
Do you know what I want? Do you know what I want a live action version of?
What's that?
Ulysses 31.
Ulysses 31.
Ulysses 31's an anime that was basically like a futuristic space version of Odysseus' travels.
Okay.
So he defies the gods of Olympus, and they set the Cyclops on and defeats the Cyclops, and then they wipe the way back to Earth from his spaceship. So he has to do the Odysseus travel. He has to do the voyage.
Oh, cool.
And it's great. And the gods put all of his crew to sleep, apart from him and his son and the little girl and the little robot. So it was Ulysses 31 is just kick ass. But you know, you can't have a good father nowadays. So
no, you can't. You can't. I maybe I have heard of it. I'd have to see it to trigger my memory, but nah, not even.
Oh, you would know as soon as you hear the theme. You'd know.
Not even ringing a bell right now, but that's not too unusual. Commandant VHS for $2 says George R. R. Martin should hire a ghostwriter. Yes, he should. He absolutely should. I just want to finish. I want an ending to the book. I've read it so many times, and that's my choice, and I understand that. But you know, I made a video a year ago saying I'm not giving him a penny until for anything until he finishes Wins a Winner, and I recommended you guys do that too. But you know, and then he fucking blurts out and does this passive aggressive thing on Not a Blog about YouTubers and content creators while he's fucking off and telling us about how he's signing new deals for developing things. It's fucking annoying. Gotta suffer this week and next week with no Superman and Lois, and these are my 2 weeks off, says Super Nate for $5. How much Superman and Lois is left? Now, I got an email saying it went. I got an email saying it went woke. Now, I haven't seen the last 3 episodes.
Hasn't gone woke in the slightest.
Somebody said it went woke. I think it was the Nazi thing. I think people were kind of put
the
off.
Nazi thing was great.
We'll see.
The Nazi thing was great. There was in the latest episode. I don't know if you've seen the first episode, but they have this like 5-minute montage at the beginning where they basically go through Superman's life, his father dying, going to Metropolis, meeting Lois, saving the car, you know, doing that Action Comics 1 moment from 1938, him being in the retro suit, then him, you know, telling Lois that he's Superman, proposing to her. Anyway, in episode 11, they expand on it. And basically turn it into a kind of like origin story, but there's something else going on as well. But they kind of turn it into like a full-on origin story, and one of the parts of it is really cool. It's actually very well done because Lois has been lumbered with Clark as the rookie, and they're working together, and she's like totally fucking doting over him, and they are investigating someone who is destroying ethnic businesses and then spray painting Nazi SS on their businesses. But they don't, the way that they do it, and they're very clear when they do this, they don't say, you know, oh, this is like a bunch of fucking white fucking racist yada yada yadas. They make it very clear that this is a very specific attack by a very specific person, you know, so they don't tarnish, like they don't do like all white people are fucking racist. No, they're like they break it down, like we've broken this down to like 4 potential people who this could be, and then they go and take him out, and it's actually really well done.
I took issue with enough of the Nazi shit. There's no fucking Nazi groups doing anything out there. There's plenty of Antifa shit going on, and they just conveniently never do anything with, like, there's no interesting stories about a kid going Antifa or something like that and burning a business down. It's just very strange that they keep going to the Nazi thing, which we maybe if you try and you look real hard, you'll find one loner who bought into some weird white supremacist shit and did something.
Which is basically what they did with that.
You don't have to try hard to find Antifa burning some shit down or fucking killing some people or going after each other or doing. You don't. All you have to do is a basic search, and even Google doesn't cover up that shit. They've been covering. By the way, they have been covering up stuff. Google.
Well, Batwoman accidentally tore themselves apart in the season finale because they had this riot in Gotham, but the riot wasn't because the people had been turned by fear gas or drugged or anything like that. Black Mask simply said, "I've put a bunch of black masks, wear it, and then go out and cause chaos, take out the police, take out the infrastructure." So basically Antifa. And then they spent the episode basically saying these people are horrible, they're terrible, they'll never pull down the infrastructure, they'll never pull down the establishment. So they didn't quite realize that they're just blowing their own fucking Antifa bullshit out of the water. But I'm absolutely positive, because these writers, of course, from Batwoman are retarded. They hadn't got a clue what they were actually doing.
Yeah, Batwoman is written by wine moms. Is wine mom? That's
the heads.
Yeah. Oh my god! Like if that was a real problem, you'd see freaking swastikas everywhere. They'd be spray painted everywhere. They'd be we're gonna. I don't see any of that shit.
I saw it a call back to 1938, because the whole thing was a call back to 1938.
You know where the only place I saw anti-Semitism and swastikas spray painted on
was
walls?
Was it the Democrat Party?
No, it was London.
Oh, sorry. Was it the Me Too movement?
No, it was fucking London.
Because there's been a lot of anti-Semitism in that fucking organization.
The most anti-Semitism I have ever experienced in my adult life was when I walked out of a tube station to go jogging right outside of Marble Arch, and there was a fucking giant anti-war, because this was right when we're going to Iraq, right? A giant anti-war protest, and it was just F Israel in the US, and I had a Captain America shirt on, by the way, when I was fucking jogging. I had a couple things thrown at me. I kept jogging. It was fine. But dude, you guys, when you protest, London's a huge city, right? But you guys, there's fucking millions of people show up. It is ridiculous how many people are your most recent protest, which was beautiful, by the way. It was so heartening to see the citizens of London marching for freedom. Freedom. It was so great. But man, there was a lot of you out there. Holy shit. We don't.
This is what we got to do. The press is still trying to fearmonger all the news from the mainstream. It's consistent fearmonger. COVID cases are going back up. But unfortunately, they had to also post the deaths. And there's been 3.
Yeah, they did that here. They're like Los Angeles. They didn't even post tests. They're all 3 people have COVID in Los Angeles.
Oh no! Here they're like, there's 20 in the last 28 days or something. There's 22,800 confirmed cases, and 3 deaths.
3 deaths
that we don't even know. We don't even know the context of.
We don't know, and it's a country of 6. How many?
65 million.
65 million. We've got what, 35 million here documented. About 48 million undocumented here in California. And yeah, LA's got millions of people. It's a ginormous city.
Canada keep buying there, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Just left the game and went here for more fun and maybe no disappointment. Michael Strelitz for £5. Oh, the soccer match, the
football,
soccer, your cute
football.
little, where you kick around the little ball in your shorts, and then when somebody gets 5 feet from you, the guy like falls down and like.
Well, you can't deny that actually. So.
And guys don't wear underwear, so when they do their scissor kick, their fucking balls are always flying out and shit. Yeah,
there's some great pictures that the press have taken of footballers sliding in and the fucking balls are falling out and.
My wife's cousin was a professional female soccer player. She's now.
You mean a lesbian?
She's straight. She's straight. She's a unicorn. She's like
lies.
One. Ali Wagner. She's a broadcaster for Fox Sports 1. She's a gold medal winner. She beat the Chinese twice. And yes, Ali Wagner is my wife's cousin. You can see her on, she's a blue check mark on Twitter too. But
I don't know. I got booted off Twitter.
Yeah, I know. Huh? But yeah, she's the straight female soccer player. She's got like 5 kids.
The singular straight.
She's got 4 kids. She had triplets and an extra.
Wow.
They're adorable little kids. And of course,
popping those out.
Yeah. My ex-president just got locked up. Hashtag karma, says Michael Miller for 14 Zardazes. South Africa, your ex-president got locked up in South Africa.
Oops.
What's that about? Why? Michael, and like, be careful there, dude.
I want to go to South Africa to save my life.
Yeah, I would love to go there, dude. It's beautiful, but like,
oh yeah, I'd love to go there, but I don't want to go. I'd like to live as well.
Attached to my body right now. Did you know in South Africa is one of the oldest meteor impacts on the planet? The crater. It's giant. It's like 300 fucking miles around. It's very, very, it's way back, like before the dinosaurs, this meteor impacted, but you can still see some of the crater. It's crazy. Swinging. I've been looking a lot into that for another show. Swinging Cod. I wonder if Courtney Love and Hillary Clinton ever compared notes on how best to do certain things, not implying anything. Of course, not at all.
Wait, you mean kill people?
Courtney Love's starting to look like Hillary Clinton. That's for sure. Oh, poor Courtney. No, not poor Courtney.
No, not poor Courtney. I know.
No, I not a big fan of hers. I like I liked the grunge scene for the most part. I did. I thought it was I loved Smashing Pumpkins, Soundgarden, fucking Alice in Chains. The one band I didn't like and I don't like, and if I hear them, I kind of get triggered, is Pearl Jam. Fuck Pearl Jam. I fucking
okay.
That's not fucking singing. And my sister went to high school with Eddie Vedder. My oldest sister, Eddie Vedder's from my hometown, Encinitas. Well, that's where he went to high school, and he was Eddie Mueller at the time, and he knew my older sister. They were like surf stoners together, and I guess his dad bailed on him, and it broke him, and that's what he wrote every song about, was his dad leaving or whatever. Who's still alive and everything. But yeah, I just never liked Pearl Jam. I couldn't.
I know someone who just worships them.
Really? Yeah, I fucking can't stand them. It's ear aids to me. Sorry, but I hear it and I just go, ah! I like all the other, like I said, I fucking love Soundgarden. Or loved.
Loved.
Not many of them made it. That Heron, man.
No.
That'll get
that heron. Yeah,
it will get you.
That heron stuff is pretty potent.
I'm glad I never did it. I never fucking did it. I think I accidentally snorted it once because I thought it was like Coke or something because it was in a powder form. Because if you put a white powder in front of me, it could have been Ajax. I would have fucking snorted it. It was such an.
Well, I had a period where I was like,
you had a period?
I had a period when I transitioned. Where I was like, my gallbladder, I had to have my gallbladder removed, and like leading up to it, there was like so many like complications, and so I was like, there's this spell in my where I was like in and out of hospital, and because the pain was so severe, whenever you'd go in, they'd whack you up with morphine, which is all morphine is, folks, is like pure heroin.
Opiate.
It's just the good stuff, you know. And you just have to have it once and you understand why people get addicted to smack.
No,
because it is fuck. It is beautiful.
Oh, I know, and now again, I haven't done heroin, but I did those we'll just say a blue pill, and it wasn't the kind that gives you a boner. And I snorted it, and at the time I went, oh fuck, this is the best I've ever felt in my life. This is the most dangerous thing I just did. I can never do this again. Of course, I was off to the races after that. Fucking hard to get.
I told you. I mean, I've told the story of when I was killed by the doctor, when the doctor killed me.
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't care. You know, I was in heaven. I was just in heaven with this overdose. Long story short, a doctor gave me an overdose of morphine, and I was just in heaven. I couldn't feel my body. It felt like I was a shell, literally just a shell, and all I could feel was my heart just pumping, nice and slow, and slower because I wasn't fucking breathing, and it was just so peaceful. You didn't feel as if you were asphyxiating or anything. And I'm not breathing, but I didn't feel as if I was and that's one of the main causes of overdose. You just don't breathe.
Yeah.
And so that was just sort of waking up to a nurse straddled across you, slapping you across the face was quite fun. I mean, we could play that game again if you've got the uniform, but that's what kicked in the breathing. Some nurse screaming at you to start fucking breathing.
No, I saw the light. One of them I saw the light, and one of them I saw nothing. And the one that was nothing, that's the one that properly freaked me out, right? So I had two flat lines, lips were blue. I was gone. I was fucking gone. And brought back. And the second one, like, I was shook for like a good couple of weeks because of that, and it actually led to me doing more drugs because convinced there's just nothing. There's nothing. That's it. You just turn off.
You saw oblivion.
I saw oblivion and looked down its fucking throat, and I was like the void, and I was like, oh no. That was not good.
No.
For a teenager, okay.
Yeah.
Teenager, I was just like not processing that very well. So
was this Dr. Jodie Whittaker by any chance?
Yes.
No, this was a student doctor. This was a student doctor that gave me too little morphine to touch the pain after I'd come out of an operation to have the gallbladder removed. And then when the nurse shouted at the doctor for not giving me enough, he then gave me way too much. And fucking killed me.
They do that. I woke up in shock after my tonsils got taken out because I had some allergic reaction to the whatever they gave me for to put me under.
Yeah.
And, I woke up in post-op, and I remember just feeling just cold, like super cold, and my body was shaking. And I thought I was shaking because I was cold, but I was shaking because my body was going into like shock. It was like
hypothermic shock. Wow.
Doing all this, and they fucking flew over me, and all of a sudden I was out again. So because I had the blood coming out and this shit. Yeah, something happened to my throat and after the tonsils, and that was when I was 16 too. And then they gave me all kinds of good drugs after that. They gave me bottles of like Percocet after that, and I sold them for like Coke and Crystal. I just traded them.
But that's the weird thing when you get put under. There's no dreaming. When you get put under for an op, it's an instantaneous. You're out, and then you wake up in post-op.
You're back.
It's such a weird
countdown
feeling.
From 100, 100, 99, 98.
Oh, I just got told 10, and I thought I made it to 8, but the nurse told me I made it to like 4 or something. But I can't remember. I can be going 10, 9, 8.
Yeah, they had me count for 100.
She said, "Oh no, you made it to about 4." I was like, "Really?" I said, "I can." But yeah, it's just an instantaneous thing. Is going from being knocked out straight to post-op.
Well, then there's the colonoscopy where you're on the Demerol, so you're kind of awake, or you're at least they can make suggestions to you, so you're conscious enough to where you can move. But I don't remember a fucking thing about it, thankfully. The only thing I remember is wanting to drive home afterwards. I was like, I'm fine. I can drive. Give me the keys. And my first wife at the time is like, you're naked. I didn't have clothes.
Well, my brother came to pick me up because like they kicked me out in the afternoon. I think I went under around 8 p.m. to have it removed. And then I came out post-op around 1 a.m. And the next afternoon, they were kicking me out of the hospital. You know, I had like 12 hours of recovery, and that was it. I was out.
British medicine.
Yeah. This is the NHS. Yay. My brother came to pick me up. And he said to me, he said, I arrived at the hospital. And I said, I'm here to pick up my brother, who's just, come out of, operation for yada, yada, yada. And she was like, okay. And then my brother said, then I just turned around and I just like, there was like a, bunch of chairs and I just sat down. And he said, the woman was just like staring at me. He's like, why was she staring at me? And then she said, he just went, you do know he's not going to be able to carry anything whatsoever. And my brother's like, oh right, okay, so you had to go down to the wall to like get my bag and stuff.
He's like,
he picks something up, his stitch is just gonna go.
Yeah.
And I'm like walking I'm walking at like half a mile an hour. I've just had keyhole surgery. I've got, I'm sliced up everywhere, and
that's the difference between your medical and ours. Ours would go, oh, he needs to stay in the hospital for at least 4 more days. And like, how much is that, doctor?
Yeah, how much? Yeah.
It's only $10,000 a night. And I'm not even fucking joking. It's $10,000 a night. That was back in 2003. It's probably 20 now, because Melissa and I paid for Nerdrotic Jr. out of pocket. Neither of us had coverage, so we paid for him out of it. I paid for a fucking birth. It's fucking expensive. Nerdrotic Jr. cost about as much as a very expensive Mercedes. and I was like, just bought a comic shop, and she had just started a hair salon, and we managed to do it. But
wow,
yeah, $10,000. $12,000 a night just for the fucking hospital. She had a cesarean too, so it was like she had to stay there. Back to super chats. I don't know how the fuck we got on that conversation. I want
here you go, folks. Stories about drugs and operations here on the Real BBC.
Black Tiger 001 for 10 Canadian pesos. Marry, fuck, kill, round 44, final bout edition, rank fights and name winners. It's a Gundam versus Cecil in a joke off. Billy special reference. Gary versus Gavin Newsom, and Mama Susan and Gary versus Gavin Newsom and Mama Susan lingerie match. Tigers groupies versus Warrens. Okay. Marry, fuck, kill edition for one. It's a Gundam's gonna beat. Ooh, it's a Gundam versus Cecil in a joke off. I think Gundam's gonna beat him.
Yeah,
like
Gundam's still out there.
See, sober Cecil or drunk Cecil, right? Because I am one of the few people in the world who thinks sober Cecil is sharper. That's just me. But I say it's a Gundam. If you have to put a gun in my head, but I love them both. I don't know. I would metaphorically beat the fucking shit out of Gavin Newsom. Metaphorically, like not really. And Mama Susan in a lingerie match versus the Tigers groupies, or Warren Ellis's Tiger groupies.
Well, I don't think they got the power to cancel Mama Susan, so I think Mama Susan's gonna win that.
Well, Mama Susan's not going anywhere. She'll never be replaced as because she's a puppet. She doesn't really actually make any. YouTube exists for Google ad revenue, and it generates a lot of money. And YouTube is now becoming the place to go for ads over broadcast television. It's probably already happened, but if it isn't official, it'll be in the next year or so, because ads have been here for so long. People just accept them. They're not something you can go and add to Disney streaming or HBO Max and it'll work. Incidentally, by the way, HBO Max streaming service, terrible, fucking terrible, like unbelievable. Like I have to stop and restart it every fucking 3 episodes of Babylon 5. It won't play 4 or 5 episodes in a row. It just stops and goes, oops. It literally says, oops, something went wrong.
Oh, I hate it when that's fucking shit that happened 15 years ago, man.
I know, dude. It's like, and Disney Plus isn't great either. The quality of the picture looks like shit, and I'm running it on like a fucking computer on a sweet ass monitor. I mean, Netflix looks good for as shitty as it is on my sister's password, but because I don't give them.
Yeah, Netflix haven't clamped down. My mum's still using my account, and I'm still using it, and they haven't tried to prevent us from doing it yet.
I think they're only going to say they're gonna stop that. That's like saying, you know what, coming out and saying you're anti-piracy is bad for business. People really are protective. Yes, piracy is theft. It is. But so is taxation. Exactly. I've never had a problem with it because I think it does lead to sales in a lot of cases. I think it does. I think you get people getting a sample of something that they might not have looked at before, and if they weren't going to buy it anyway, that's not a lost sale.
Exactly.
It's just not a lost sale. But if they do buy it out of the blue, like, oh, I had no idea. I pirated this thing that I never saw and couldn't get a sample of it anywhere. And I love it. So I'm going to go buy it. You know, that shit happens all the time. And nobody pirates shit. Nobody pirates Star Trek Discovery. Nobody pirates Picard. Nobody pirates garbage. Nobody pirates Batwoman.
Well, unless you got to review it for your YouTube channel.
Of course. Well, the CW, the CW is it's really difficult. It's not on a lot of streaming services. I don't know, and I don't care. I just what do I watch it on? YouTube TV. I have YouTube TV because it's on YouTube. I might as well support the platform I'm on.
It's on Netflix.
For you.
Yeah.
But Black Tiger 101, I think Cecil and It's a Gundam together in a joke off. I think if Cecil and had some structure and like wrote, well, he's really good at riffing. I don't know if Cecil could write comedy. I think Cecil can just go. I think he can Don Rickles and just riff and roast people. It's a Gundam like can write comedy. He's fucking funny, dude. That is a funny dude. Robert Atkinson for $10 US. Reading Saga. Did you know how did Vaughn go from libertarian to woke? How did a great story fall apart? Because he drank the Kool-Aid. And Joe Rogan, here, let's go to that Joe Rogan audio. He explains it. I mean, we've been explaining it for years, by the way. There's a bunch of new Marvel articles that I just Marvel Phase Bore. It's Marvel Phase Bore. That's what it is.
The MCU Marvel Phase Bore.
Oh, look. Oh, fuck.
I can't wait for this.
There's a girl with a Daredevil costume on. It's just like fuck off with the fucking gender swaps.
That's Elektra.
That's Elektra wearing Daredevil's costume. Then why does it say DD?
Because it's another fucking tokenized change. That's all the MCU is now. Fucking women.
It's the house.
And horrible women as well. Not even cool women. They're all fucking horrible, bitchy, selfish, self-absorbed Karens. Anyway, go on.
Or anything like that. But like you having been at the center of all these worlds, you've seen a lot of shit, I guess. And it caused you to say, I cannot be controlled by these people. Like what were some of those experiences? And like, why do you think that the industry is the way that it is today?
They don't have, I mean, here's the best way to describe what's going. This is the problem, not just with Hollywood, but also with Los Angeles, because Los Angeles is inexorably connected to show business. There is no getting around that. It's the reason why a large percentage of people move there.
He's 5'3", by the way.
There, and it also massively affects the politics of the place, and not just politics, but social discussions, the way people communicate, because it's an incredibly disingenuous way of communicating, where you want to say the things that people are going to want to hear, because that way they're going to cast you. So here's the thing: you take these people, and generally speaking, people come to Hollywood if they have an acting dream. That's the big reason why, right? That's like probably the number one. There's comics, they come there and they're different, but not necessarily, because a lot of them get into acting and they get like corrupted by that system too. But the way this system works is you go there and then you go into a room like this one. So like maybe we could be the casting directors, and someone would come in and you go, "Hey, Mark, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where'd you move from?" And there's like a smugness to it and a weirdness to it, because they have power over you. And they're like, "Well, I'm from New Jersey, but been acting. I did a bunch of plays and blah blah blah, and I'm out here trying it out." "Okay, Mark. Well, you're gonna read Ted," and then like some fucking PA will read off a thing. "Well, Ted, I don't even know if we can do this, man. It just seems like it's all wrong." You're like, "Come on, man, we can do it." And so you're in this. I've done this so many times. You're in this like non-natural environment. It's usually a conference room in a production office, and you're in this non-natural environment with these smug people that have this massive amount of power over you, and it's the way people communicate. Like I've been in rooms where they'll discuss politics like right away, and you see people bend to whichever way the wind is blowing. Like, what do I have to say?
What do they want?
I think it's about time we had a woman president. Like they'll say shit. Like, you see it. You see the they don't have opinions. These when I say they, some of them do, but a lot of them don't. What they have is a conglomeration of opinions that they've adopted because they think it'll be beneficial for their career. Because their career is they're insecure people that go to a place where they're going to get rejected a lot. It is the worst thing ever for their mental health. I stopped dating actresses like in the 90s. It was like 90s. Like this doesn't work. Like these people are crazy. And I'm like, I know I'm crazy, but I'm a like comedian / martial artist crazy. It's like a different kind of crazy.
Okay.
It's like a more like honest crazy. Like their crazy was I need to get cast in things. And also I got insanely lucky. I auditioned for 2 television shows, and the 2 television shows I auditioned for, I got both of them. It was nuts. Like I got the show called Hardball. That was the first thing I came out for. I got that. And then Hardball got canceled, and I auditioned for News Radio, and then I got that. So it was like 2 things in a row. It was unheard of. So just dumb luck. I auditioned for the right things. And then, so I didn't see this side of it because I was already working.
The constant rejection side.
So I would go on auditions for movies and stuff that I probably didn't really want.
You did it because you were supposed to, right?
You're supposed to. My agent would literally tell me, you need to go out on these so these casting directors know who you are. So they know you and they like you. Even I go, but I can't even do this because I'm doing this. They're like, it's better to have them want you and not be able to get you.
That's weird.
So, okay. So, and then there was like maybe something that's going to be cast while you're on summer break. Okay, fine. So I would go on these auditions and I would see these poor fucks that were like lost in this world of being chosen for things. And that's what shapes the entire mindset of that part of the country. The entire mindset of that part of the country is doing things that you think other people will like. Right. Imagine a hellscape of a world where everyone in one business, everyone is liberal. Yeah. How is that possible? How is it possible when the country is basically divided 50-50? So you're telling me that everyone who is everyone who's creative? Is it everyone who is expressive? Is it everyone who's theatrical? Is that possible? It's not possible because it's not really opinions. They're willing to not have any opinions on anything else other than feeding narcissism, feeding this career that seems insurmountable and impossible to achieve. Because when you're thinking about someone wanting to be like an actor on a television show, you're like, what are the odds that you make it? It's so small. Yeah. Right. Like there's so many people in Hollywood that never make it. Like I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day about his ex-girlfriend. And she was really mean to him in college, and she cheated on him with his friend and all this. And she's still trying to make it now. She's 48.
Wow.
And he was talking about how like he ran into her and there's this fucking weird moment. I was like, dude, because it's crazy. A lot of them just drop off. They just quit because they realize they're clinging to this ship and they can't quite pull themselves up. And then they're in the middle of the ocean, like, I gotta drop off the ship. And then sometimes they drop off and they're 60 years old.
There's nothing
and they've
else
never
left.
made it.
Wow.
And then maybe they got like a bit part on like a sitcom where they walk in with a pizza and they have one line, they leave, and that's on the field forever. Like this is that industry. So that industry has made a bunch of fucking insane people because they were insane going in there. They needed a lot of attention already. And then on top of that, they get rejected over and over and over again. And I remember this girl that I was dating, she would come home from auditions and then she'd just be like, just devastated because the audition didn't go well and she stumbled through things. She's just like, you could like feel the angst like pulsating off of their bodies. Like people were just, and you run into that more than you don't. Because most people are bitter and most people are weirded out and they adopt these liberal sensibilities and ideologies, and they don't necessarily do it because they thought these things through. I mean, occasionally you got your Mark Ruffalo type characters really all in on a lot of things,
right?
But or not, most of them are just nonsense people, and those nonsense people will get on stage and they'll say, like at the Academy Awards or at the Grammys, they'll talk about this is what we have to do. We have to make sure that we support this and that, and it's fucking horseshit.
Like that Imagine video where they all sang.
That was
perfect.
So cringe. Who asked for this? We never fucking asked you for this.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect encapsulation.
Like, do you think you're actually helping anyone?
Yeah, no, this is so bad.
That was my first favorite one. My second favorite one was after the George Floyd thing, where they all did that black and white video. I will no longer stand for it. I will no longer stand for any race. I'm like, wait, how much racism are you standing for?
What were you doing before?
I know that was long, but that's fucking it. I mean, they are adult pretenders. They are fucking NPCs, and they have been influencing this country for way too fucking long. These desperate husk of a human being who are fucking hollow, who are just insecure and willing to fucking do anything, and I mean anything, to get that next job. And that's either effing Harvey Weinstein or effing over Harvey Weinstein the next minute. That's what we're talking about. And these people are getting their grand moralizing to us. And that's what's shaping this world right now is insecure fucking people. And it's on Twitter, and that's why now we're in a world where Az puts all men must die. And there's accounts, by the way, called All Men Must Die. They're named All Men Must Die on fucking Twitter right now. and we get banned. I mean, like, who gives a fuck about getting banned? But it's the arbitrary nature of the fucking hypocrisy that we're seeing played out in front of us. It's a big charade. I mean, and that's why I'd love to say it's rocket science here on YouTube, but what Az and I do, I talked about it yesterday in the live stream. We cut through bullshit. I mean, we let you know how we see the world, and we cut through bullshit. And this bullshit's being fed to us now. It's not even bullshit. It's straight up lies. They are lies. And we're just going, you know, somebody puts up She-Hulk, the intersectional She-Hulk, and Az goes, that looks like shit. And that's supposed to be some radical state. I mean, like, yes, it looks like shit. And they're trying to tell you, no, this is powerful. This is amazing. This is a victory for women because we can have a, you know, it's Ma'am Hulk.
It's the Emperor's clothes.
Yep.
It's the Emperor's clothes. We are seeing these absolute pieces of shit being put out there, and the mainstream media are there going, this is great, this is progressive, it's the Emperor's clothes. No, you're naked and you look like a dickhead. That's the stark reality of it. But they try and think they believe that if they feed it, if they feed the lie out enough, then people will start buying into the lie and believing the lie. But you know, Tarantino the other day spoke out against woke culture in Hollywood and how it's stifling creativity, and this is just it. It's becoming so apparent now that films are not being made to entertain. Films are being made around ideology, and that's the main push. I spoke about it in in one of my videos recently, where I was speaking about Batwoman. I said, oh, even though it's fun, you know, it's funny to take the piss out of Batwoman every week. The show's garbage. The show's terrible. It's easy to just tear it apart because the writers are fucking window lickers. You know, they haven't got a fucking clue what they're doing. But the insidious side is that Batwoman isn't a show about a superhero. That's never the intention. The show doesn't give a shit about it being set in Gotham. It doesn't give a shit that the main character is Batwoman. It doesn't give a shit about the Rogues Gallery or the history of Bill Finger and Bob Kane's creation. It doesn't give a shit about anything. All it gives a shit about is we got lesbicans on screen and we're feeding you this ideological propaganda. That's the only thing to them that matters. But because these people, as Joe Rogan said, because these people are so insane, because they are so fucking insecure, they are utter narcissists. And the characters that they put out on this show are fucking horrible. Absolutely horrible people. Batwoman is a disgusting, selfish, narcissistical, self-centered piece of shit. So was Ruby Rose's Batwoman. So was fucking Mary. And fucking Luke's character. Luke is just this effeminized black male who they think is a fucking pet to be dragged around. He's everyone's fucking purse puppy. He's not treated like a human being. He's never given anything to work with. He's never given anything to express. Anytime he gets a snippet of a line, as soon as the women come along, it's back to being Femi hide behind the skirt time. It's so fucking disingenuous and disgusting. And this is our entertainment for today. This is our shows that they want to pump out there, while the mainstream media goes and cries about how progressive and wonderful and groundbreaking it is. And it's not. It's the Emperor's fucking clothes. It's a fucking fat dude with his small dick out, and everyone's looking and laughing in reality. And that's why nobody's fucking watching this shit. That's why things like this are that's why like these CWs just died a death, because they took fun shows that they used to do that had themes about family relationships that we could all relate to. Not just being a teenager, but going into adolescence, and they would spin it in a fun way. People would have their limitations. You could understand their strengths and their weaknesses. And now we just have these fucking horrible pieces of shit walking around saying, oh, I did this, but we never see it. I've done that, but we never see it. I've saved Gotham time and time again. Never see it. Because it's now tell, not show, and it used to be show, not tell. And that's why there's no character development anymore. All garbage.
Yeah. That there was that big article in the Atlantic talking about, what's special about the Mandalorian. Nothing. Big genius, Jon Favreau, who I respect as a filmmaker and everything, just went, hey, let's not put a bunch of identity politics in and try to copy the Star Wars, the original trilogy, especially the first one, Star Wars, as much as we can in tone. Wow. No, and it was a lot of show and not tell, maybe too much in my opinion, but yeah, they explain everything. They do. This is the trope of writing now. I don't know if trope is the right term, but you'll see something. This happened in Loki like 3 times. You see something happen, and then they go, like, you see the little box that helps them go through the little portals break, and then she goes, "It's broken." It's like, I saw it break. It's the lights went off on everything. I don't need to be told it was broken. But the MCU is broken now, and it's broken because here, let's listen to this, and it pretty much explains what's going on with the MCU right now.
But there has become a thing that's gone on. It seems like in this, especially this last year, where what's the word I'm looking at? Ideology is more important than art.
Way more, certainly to the awards.
Yeah. And it's just, it's like, ideology
Right.
trumps art.
Right.
Ideology
It's
trumps individual effort. Ideology trumps good. Ideology trumps entertaining.
There's 2 kinds of movies, virtue signalers and superhero movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Or virtue signaling superhero movies.
But he's absolutely, you get those plenty now. But he's absolutely right when he says it trumps good. Because that's what we're seeing. I mean, like I've just discussed how these characters who are meant to be our heroes, Batwoman, she's meant to be the hero of Gotham. She's a piece of shit. She's a selfish piece of shit. We've seen this series that she goes out onto the street. She'll bust a white dude. It's got to be a white dude, by the way, folks. And that's the way it's always been now on Batwoman. She'll bust a white dude for taking Snakebite. And then she'll go home and get into bed and rub fucking ginies together with the woman who fucking made the fucking drug that went out onto the street. And they don't see a fucking problem with that. They don't understand the Wait, hold on. Whoa. Writers. Hello, writers, showrunner. You are having your fucking hero sleep with the woman who's making the drug, which the fucking Batwoman is then going out onto the street and taking care of the job. It's absolutely fucking retarded, man. That's in its actual literal sense.
And it's soap opera garbage, and it's why mom's right. And that's why we're going towards the end. This is the end, folks. It's not going to survive all this. People aren't going to sit through this shit. They're not going to sit through this. Marvel's a strong brand. So yes, they're going to go see Black Widow and call it stunning and brave. And we'll get to that in just a second. We do have to read some super chats, but yeah. And Shang-Chi is good because it has Asian leads. People are going to praise the shit out of it and like, if it's a great movie, I'll tell you, it's a great movie. Chances are it'll probably be at very best, boringly average.
We've already seen the movie.
Yeah.
The movie's just been laid out in the 2 trailers.
Yep. And the most interesting thing in it was a cameo from a Hulk villain.
Yeah.
Hail guys, did you see TSR is being banned by cons? Le Chevalier de Lys. Yeah, I did see a little bit of that because of I can't. It was a Twitter thing, and I think I don't know what led to it, but they stood their ground basically. and they are being banned by cons. Well, I mean, I would
Why?
It had something to do with I don't know exactly why. If somebody wants to tell me in the chat, I think I heard that they were asked about something transgender and they said no or something like that. And of course they're being canceled. I don't know exactly what it was for though. Woman Power for $5. You don't have to give your opinion. Just wondering if you saw the vid of John Campea telling a black man he was wrong about Black Superman. So funny. I haven't seen the video.
No.
I don't watch Campea. I only watch Robert Meyer Burnett. No offense to Campea. I'm not.
No, Campea can take as much offense. I think the guy's a bit of a moron.
I like how he backed up his boy Robert. I did like that when Robert was canceled.
Yeah,
would.
But that doesn't stop his takes from being absolutely horrendous.
He has horrendous takes. That's why I don't watch him. I mean, if he had, I don't have to like or agree, but the person who has takes on popular culture and entertainment, to me, has to have good taste. Like Critical Drinker has good taste. Mahler has good taste. I don't agree with them on everything, but I know they have good taste. Seeing the news of the bullshit going on in Canada, political opposition being arrested, and now going to start actively censoring internet activity. That's M Service for $5. By the way, the other that was Wham and Power for $5 previous, and Les Chevaliers de Lys. With Canada, yeah, it's turning into a police state, and you guys need to either do something about it or get out. At this point, I'm only slightly joking. It's getting bad.
No, it's getting very bad. It's getting real bad, and that JT is he's a dictator.
He is right now. That's the power.
He'll keep importing people from India to vote for him to keep him in power.
The power of the cult of personality. OBG70 are you planning any MMOs are you playing any MMOs currently? What do you like? Both. Have you ever read Savage Sword of Conan comics? I can answer the last part. I did a whole BBC of me bagging and boarding my Savage Sword of Conan. Fucking love them. They are my Conan. Are you playing any MMOs at the moment?
Yeah, I'm playing Final Fantasy 14, and I'm working on my Relic, and I just got my sparkly customization on it, so I'm quite happy.
Excellent. Mr. Noir for $9.99 on Game of Thrones. I was a senior in college when the last book came out. I'm in my 30s now. Bottom line is George R. R. Martin got the bag for his series already and doesn't care about finishing. You're right. As a matter of fact, when the last book came out, we're coming up on 10 years, folks. We are actually about 2 weeks away from it being 10 years since the release of A Dance with Dragons. I was in Los Angeles. I had the comic shop, and I was working down there for Technicolor and doing editing gigs and stuff and trying to give it a go creatively in Hollywood, and found out pretty quick that I didn't want to do it. But I'm glad I did all that stuff because it kind of led to this. So yeah, it was a long fucking time ago. I was in my 40s. Early 40s.
Oh no, it's not. I don't think it's ever going to see light of day.
Nope. I always thought Winds of Winter was going to come out. I don't think it is now. Black Tiger 00 and Dream of Spring will never come out. Black Tiger 001 for 5 Canadian pesos. Superman and Lois makes me mad. Why can't other shows be this damn good? I swear I had a moment where I felt that that good wholesome feeling from a true hero. Yeah, it's a good show, and you do have to ask yourself, is it the Ritz cracker in the desert? You know, Eddie Murphy's thing where if you give a starving man in the desert a Ritz cracker, it'll be the greatest thing he's ever tasted. Or is it just really that good? I think it's a bit of both, you know?
I think it's a bit of both. It's a really good show, particularly in today's climate. But it's a good show. It is a good show. I mean, they've handled some stuff really well. They handled the Luther stuff without giving anything away. They handled the Luther stuff really well indeed. They've set plenty up. There's plenty which has been set up, which is now beginning to start paying off. And yeah, they're kind of giving us multiple storylines all in one while giving some new stuff as well. And it's just been done very, very well.
And we got a donation on the Streamlabs side for $150 from Ed Starr. Ed Starr, hello, Gary and Az. I survived 107 degrees Fahrenheit in Seattle on that is fucking hot for Seattle. June 28th, 2021. I'm very happy to be here, or anyway, so please accept my donation in support of my two favorite pop culture heroes. By the way, it's 42 degrees Celsius for you. Thank you. Oh, and I'm sorry you were in Seattle. Maybe that kept Antifa in for a day. Yeah, it's been here. It's been hovering between 95 and 100, not 107 though. That's when it gets fucking crazy, and it might be that hot in Vegas when we go to Vegas. Just so you know, it's the worst time to go.
Most wonderful time.
The middle of the desert in the well, not even the middle of summer, in the middle of fucking summer. Ed Starr, thank you so much for the very, very generous donation. I was thinking on our Twitter ban, a lot of people were getting suspended, banned a lot and Twitter doesn't see every post, right? They have to be made aware. It has to be reported. I wasn't thinking much of it at the time when I got suspended. I thought it was what I said. I was on the phone with Az at the time. We were talking about his ban. Since then, I do think there might be the possibility of some kind of mass reporting campaign going on. It's happened in the past. I can't say it's out of the realm of, I have no idea. I don't think a giant corporation is coming down and wasting their time banning us for saying some innocuous thing. I don't know, but people most definitely want to keep us quiet. We are pissing people off all over the place. And it's part of the gig. I've been shot down on, I've had strikes from CBS for supposedly spoiling a show that was aired. Shit like this happens every, of course you went through the whole Naughty Dog thing. That was insane.
Yeah. Sony. Yeah. The Sony strike system.
Real. And straight up, I mean, Naughty Dog was like Neil Druckmann watching fucking YouTube videos and that third party company hitting people.
Musso hitting them. Yeah.
Yeah. That shit was real. So
he admitted to it.
Yeah.
And, yeah, but the good news is Twitter isn't reality. Twitter doesn't pay the bills. Twitter is actually just a distraction amongst other things. So by all means, strike Twitter and get people off it, whatever. All you do is you create the echo chamber. You just make the echo chamber bigger. That's all you do. And then, of course, there will come a time when all the dissenting voices are gone and it won't be peace and harmony. You'll just turn on each other because that's the way you have been bred to work. You have been bred to just turn on people. You're very unhappy, very insecure people. And that's the way that you have to operate. Meanwhile, we'll be over here on YouTube making videos, doing streams, hopefully entertaining you guys and gals. And this is where the most important work gets done.
Yeah, follow Az on Instagram at heel_versus_babyface. That's where, right there, that's where his interaction will go. And you could do a lot more on Instagram. You can go live and, I mean, I hate fucking Twitter was good for sharing videos and stuff, but we're actually finding out that it doesn't make that much of a difference.
No.
And I didn't think it did. For the longest time, I wasn't spending any time on Twitter. It's only been like very recent. and I've enjoyed the hell out of not being on it and playing these stupid fucking. It's made for playing fucking games, right? That's all it's
made for arguing. It's made for quick dopamine hits. That's what it's there for. It's kind of works along the same system as gambling. In as much as you get something out, you get your dopamine hit in getting it out because you see the like, you see the retweet. It gives you that little bit of affirmation and makes you all giddy inside. It's purposely created to cause argument because you can't construct a proper argument debate in the space that you're given with Twitter. Not that people even have the time or attention span to read past, a couple of words anyway. So most things just evolve into a slanging match. Wanted to get off it. I got pushed off it. It hasn't affected me at all. It's not affected YouTube. My views are, well, actually better at the moment. Because I've been more productive on YouTube since getting off Twitter. But yeah, my view count hasn't been affected at all by the removal. It said that 6% of my traffic came through Twitter. Well, clearly, if I'm not on Twitter and I'm just focusing on YouTube, that 6% is meaningless because they'll come through on another avenue, just come through a YouTube notification or something.
You're lucky if 6% of your fucking subs get your notifications too, because it's really that low. So $20, Alice Stars Knight on the donation side. Hail Gary, as I got my statue just in time. The day after I purchased it, the website changed. The status to pre-order sold out. Super glad I decided to not wait. Thanks again to you both. What statue?
Who was it? Who's super chat from?
Alistair's Knight for $20.
I think it's a Superman statue.
Excellent.
From what I can remember. If I'm wrong, Alistair, do correct me, but I think it's a Superman statue. He said, should I get it or should I ask the missus? And I said to him, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so order it and apologize, or ask and be potentially said no.
I mean, is it a situation? I mean, I don't know how you set your financial situation up. Is it your money, her money, and then you guys split the bills, or do you guys have a joint checking account? Like which way? My wife and I have done it both ways for a long. We only recently, very recently. Got a joint checking account. Like there's the money she earns and there's the money I earn, and we split the bills and we just kept them separate for the longest time, created the least amount of headaches. And recently we've decided to do a joint, and it was only out of necessity, really. Told my full-on TDS pro corporate borderline socialist gay friend that I'm so sick of rainbows. I think Pride Month has lost its way and usefulness. This year, even he said, yeah, I get it. For $5, that was Mr. Tickle Trunk. Yeah, I mean, Pride was supposed to be pride, because they had to hide in the closet. They had to feel shame. Society was absolutely horrible for the most part, and we all had to grow past it. There was this big bugaboo that was created by the powers that be, right? And we had to evolve past that, and we have, for the most part, and we have normalization, and that's great. Now it's just become a corporate thing, and now it's being used for bad. It's being weaponized to attack people. And that's not what it's there for. It was there to honor the people who came before, who did suffer and die, and it's just a celebration. That's the way I've always looked at it. Pride's been around forever, for all my life. And I lived in Hillcrest here in San Diego, which is the gay neighborhood. And I lived in San Francisco, lived pretty close to Castro at one point. I just saw it as a party. It's a big party that's not necessarily my party. And I just know what roads to avoid And that's the most I thought of it. And even in San Francisco, it was done in a way where it was just in Castro. It wasn't the entire city or anything, right? So, it's harmless. The celebration is absolutely harmless. But what the corporations are doing is harmful. It is harmful.
I think there's another element as well. I mean, I've spoken and I've said, I do. My heart does feel heavy because we got a lot of, we have a lot of gay followers and trans followers, and I interact with them every single day. Every single day, I know who they are. They contact me. They're just normal people, and that's the whole thing. Recent times we've seen the alphabet movement hijacked. I would say it's been hijacked by what somebody like Kerry would call trans trenders, people that are just jumping onto this bandwagon, perverting it for their own selfish means, for attention, again. And I think sadly, I think this Pride Month has been just absolutely insufferable, because the corporations have joined in. The corporations are pandering, and instead of just what should be a celebration, has just been perverted into this weaponized, finger wagging, tirade against people, and it's just become obnoxious. And a month of it, thank you. Maybe people should really start thinking about maybe just having a Pride weekend.
A weekend.
Just a long weekend, Pride weekend. Why does Pride get a month and veterans get a day and stuff like that? But now it's gone the way of most kind of like holidays. It just gets commercialized, it gets weaponized.
Yeah.
And all the wrong people jump onto it. Well,
people are going to start tuning out, dude. I mean, that's what it is. Like,
it creates more of a harmful message than a progressive message, and that's what happens when you weaponize, and that's what happens when you jump on a bandwagon and become one of these trans trenders. You don't you look at all those TikToks. We take the piss on Friday Night Tights, where I just go, hey, look, I've got a new girl. I've started seeing this new girl, and then I'll post some horrendous TikTok. But when you get past the humor of what we're trying to do, we're trying to turn something which actually is fucking disgraceful into just something funny that we can all just have a little bit of a laugh at. But when you just look at those horrible, awful people, and TikTok is now full of it, just full of it, where they're going, excuse me, this is how it needs to be. You need to be educated. And it's just like, who the fuck are you? You haven't got any life experience. You're just regurgitating what your fucking progressive teacher or lecturer has told you at school or college. Your face is full of fucking crap. Your hair looks like a fucking vagina's been turned inside out. Your makeup looks like a fucking dickhead's put it on who's blind. And it's all just for attention. Me.
I don't ever remember. I mean, Pride lasted a month because each city had it for a different week, but it was just Pride week. That's all it was. For one, it wasn't Pride month. And it is too long, and it is getting annoying. I would be annoyed by anything. And now we're having a month for each thing. We're going to have to invent new months, and it was all about normalization. Have your party. I don't care. I mean, even Pride Month has become too commercial for San Francisco for too long, and then they invented the Folsom Street Fair, and then people bring their kids to that, which is completely fucking inappropriate, and you don't want to find out why. But
I've seen some fucking footage going on, and it's disgraceful.
And that's where we're heading is, and that's somebody mentioned it in my live stream yesterday. Yes, the LGBTQ plus community needs to call out their own when it comes to the kid shit, when it comes to drag queen reading hour or whatever that's that. It is up to them to call out their own on this one, and they need to do it very vocally and often, because that's one that's never ever going to fly here. no matter how many people try. It will not fly, and it will get bad. And we're already seeing parents start to break away from the system. I mean, people are waking up. The system, the mainstream media, the access media, they take advantage of our convenience, right? So they know that most people don't want to inconvenience themselves by having to get up and move out of a state. But we're starting to see that now. I mean, I'm not going to put up with this shit in the state anymore. I'm leaving. People are changing their parties. A lot more people are going independent, which is good because fuck both parties. You vote by the issue, and especially with the rhinos, because the rhinos and Biden, they're the same fucking thing. There's no fucking difference. They might pretend to argue, but they're all going to lunch with each other at the end of the day. So nothing's ever fucking changing. There's been one party in this state for 45 fucking years, and nothing has changed. So like we need to wake up to this shit, and we need to inconvenience ourselves, including myself, and change this shit, because nobody's going to come in and fucking save us. And part of changing it is simply tuning out of some stuff, tuning this shit out when they're trying to fucking sell it to you, because they are trying to go to some pretty fucking dark places. Look what's happening to Canada. That shit could happen here. It could happen here. Twitter is cancer. Also, did you like the package I sent you? Was some things from the Weta Workshop Wellington? I did, and it will be tune in to the next super chat. Tune in to the next super chat square up. Please do. And thank you for the 100 Australian dollars. I hope you guys are free down there. I heard part of you were locked down. I know Southeast Asia was locked down too. Hang on, I'm gonna have to put in it's no but here.
Yeah, just leave fucking kids out of this shit. Just stop it. No kid needs to know that kind of shit. None.
Yeah, it has got worse. Yes, it has gotten much worse from when I was younger in California. Even a fucking 10 years ago, it was a pretty middle of the road state. Occasionally, we'd have a Republican governor, but the Democrats have run everything else, other than the occasional very moderate rhino Republican governor being elected who got nothing done, because the state Senate runs fucking everything, and it's very, very blue. The state isn't blue. The state is blue in the cities, and the rest of it's pretty red. But people are just fucking leaving now. We lost a seat, and that's good. That's good. It's just Silicon Valley runs California. Hollywood was running it for a while. Now it's Silicon Valley. There's this. I got to show it real quick. There's an article in the San Francisco Chronicle. You got to pay, but if you can go to Breitbart and read it, and it's Gavin Newsom's donations from Jar Jar Abrams, Steven Spielberg, all the power elite in Hollywood are donating to Gavin Newsom for his recall to pay him back for the little favor of making them essential during the fucking lockdown. The fix is fucking in, people. Hollywood was more essential than you. The state came out and told my wife she wasn't essential. The state came out and told this Latino family who had to shut down their laundromat that they weren't fucking essential. You're not essential. You're not important. Fuck
you
that.
couldn't have your hair cut, but you could have your dick sucked.
Yep. I'm never gonna forget that. I don't give a fuck about convenience. And fuck all of these people, and I don't care who replaces Gavin Newsom. I'll be gone. Caitlyn Jenner, fine, great. As long as that guy's gone and his political career is fucking ruined. That's the least we can do. Does it get my wife her business back or everybody else their business back? No. And you know who you're not hearing from? The small business owners. Because this bullshit of going after the rich is just bullshit. You know, they're going after the middle class. They're going independent. They go after the gig economy and the independent business owner, because they are not on the teat. They're not on the teat of the government. They can't be controlled. They try to regulate them as much as possible, but they're still their own boss, and they can't have that. They want to control every facet of our life. They want to take away private property eventually. That's their fucking end game, and they lie about it, but that's what they're going after. That's what they want. Their end game is government running everything. That's what we're trying to stop. It'll be a very hard hard thing to pull off in this country, but not as hard as I thought. We have been very.
Do you know what's not hard to pull off?
Yourself?
Me.
Yeah, there you go. The Wiki Kid for $5. Hi, hail, gents. Started season 2 of Babylon 5. I like Commander Sinclair, but dropping Captain Sheridan into the mix was like, dare I say, having Kirk step in for Pike. What do you say? Yeah, I like Sinclair too, but he was a little too dry, and I don't think the show really would have made it with him. I think it worked out the way it did, and Sinclair fucking had a badass send-off, like a badass send-off. That was, it's almost like they planned it that way. The way they sent people off was fucking awesome. And we're not going to get to Longbow Hunters today. I did talk about it in the beginning, though. No, I season 3 has been incredible. I love season 2 as well. And Jakar.
Yeah, season 2 really ramped it up.
Jakar is my favorite character. Jakar. He has gone through so fucking much. And Londo has been an asshole, but we love him. He's like the lovable asshole.
Yeah. He's made some bad decisions.
No, and even the weird casting of Bill Mummy.
Oh, and they killed his woman.
Yeah, they did. And okay, we're not past that. But Londo's like, you killed my woman. I want to get back into a league with you in the shadows. But I know for a fact he knows who did it. I know, and I don't know anything ahead. But knowing Londo, I don't think he would just jump back in there. He's got to know that they had something to do with it. It's a little too obvious. He was a little too quick with it. And Straczynski's pretty fucking smart with this writing. Scam likely. That's all that fucking calls my phone. Only 8 people have my phone number except for all the scam calls. The 97 scam calls. Saldrin.
Have you been in? Do you know I got one? This is true story. I got one. Picked up the phone. Kind of pause for, you know how it goes quiet for a bit and then it goes connecting, and then have you been in a car accident in the last 18 months, or you've been in a so I got sick and tired of getting these fucking calls, so I was like, fuck it, I'm staying on the line. So I just went yes, and it was like, please hold the line while we connect you, and then it was like quiet again. And then a human operator picked up the phone and like, hello, I believe that you've been in an accident in the last 18 months. And I said, yes, I had my penis ripped off in a car crash. And she's like, pardon? I said, I had my penis ripped off in a car crash. And she's like, have you been in an accident in the last 18 months? Yeah, I had my penis ripped off. And then she, then there's this pause again. And it's like, I say, are you being serious? And I said, yeah, well, are you saying that I'm a liar? You called me saying that I've been in an accident, and I'm confirming that I have, and I had my penis ripped off. And then you could tell that she checked out there, and she's just like, she went, she said something like, stop wasting my time. And when she said that, I fucking flipped on the bitch. Wasting your fucking time, you fucking cunt. You fucking call me with your fucking automated.
And never call back. They mix it up. I try to block the numbers, but they just come up with a new number.
Oh, it's a different one every time. Yeah, I block them, but yeah, it's a new one.
And it's people like I have to give my number to some business establishments, and they're fucking selling it off. I hate that shit.
I had one yesterday.
I just wanted my penis reattachment surgery.
I just want a dick back.
Yeah, I want my dick back.
I just want compensation for my diet.
Now I have a question. Been pulling out my old comics to change the bags and boards. Found a package of old boards unopened. Do I toss them? They have been sitting about 20 years. Yes. Also, what do you do when one of your boxes has extra space? Thanks. You fill it. Because
you fill it with comics.
Yeah. Comic collecting is about filling holes. That's all it is. Holes.
You fill it with back issues, though. That's what you do.
Yep, not new shit. Primer for $1. We live in a world where Dredd 2012 will never get a sequel, but the new Judge Dredd series will star in obnoxious land whale diversity hire. Guarantee the new series will be an allegory for white cops hate black people and will see Dredd eat carpet. Yes. Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Whatever was said, sure.
James,
you got another $100 from Athenan.
I will get right after this one. I'll get to that one. Thank you very much. $5. James Fowler, Velo Margalis, me
or not.
Here's a $5, dude. Add it to your pile of loot for something awesome. Love watching you two guys. Oh, we love you too. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We do have a hang on. I can.
You got $200 actually.
Jesus, why did the chat go so fast? Here, I can read it here. Tim.
Yeah.
Tim Southern for $100. Hail Dairy and as no matter what tech oligarch bans or deplatforms you, I'd follow your content anywhere it goes, even if you're just shouting out a window. It's better than anything coming from the mainstream. Hell, thank you. Wow. Well, they have a problem on their hands. They have competition that they will never, ever, ever be able to keep up with, and that's us. And there's new us's every day. By the way, real quick, we are limited on time today, but I want to shout out Ord's board. Okay, Ord's had his channel. We helped him get to 1,000. He was a part of the shout out. I'm pretty sure we helped. Maybe he had 1,000 already, but we helped him get a little more. He was one of our channel shout outs on Friday Night Tights. Somebody botted one of his streams. I mean, he's got I think he's got a couple thousand subs, or sorry if I don't get the number right, but he gets a few people in his streams. He has a good time. He hangs out, it's like hanging out with friends. Somebody botted one of his streams and now his channel has been permanently demonetized. He appealed, permanently demonetized. I haven't been able to spam fucking YouTube yet. I guess the best suggestion at this point were for him to start a new channel, and we'll help him in any way we can on Friday Night Tights. He's a good dude, longtime supporter of this channel and many, many others. So if you could retweet, he's got a very salty tweet on Twitter and put it.
I won't be.
I won't be able to either. But if somebody could just show a little love for Ords, because he's a really, really good guy, and it fucking sucks to see what happened to him, and that's really discouraging. Mama Susan, that's discouraging for new YouTubers, which you need, and you can't be fucking with them like that. I mean, anybody could bot a fucking stream, anybody, and what are you gonna do? Shoot it down every fucking time? And I know they're not, and it sounds like it was a mistake, and I think if it went to the right people, but he can't talk to anybody. Hopefully, my manager will contact me soon. I signed up for one. But if you talk,
I'm meeting with mine next Tuesday, a week today.
Would you ask about that if you got a chance?
Yeah, I mean they're unable to do anything stateside though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, sure. Just tell like what just generally, like what happens in this situation, if you can.
Will do.
Ask him that.
And Athenan's dropped $100 as well.
Athenan for $100. Athenan, great show today. Being from Portland, Oregon, I'm so sorry. I'm from California. I am so sorry. Oh, I know. I know all too well all the chaos Antifa has caused for the last year and continues to today. As I'm glad you will be getting a sanity break from Batwoman. Gary, keep up the fight for Lord of the Rings. That's going to be my next video. Much love to both of you. Thank you very much, Athenon.
The dude's exceptionally generous. Athenon, thank you so much, man.
I'm going to stay on Lord of the Rings. We're going to gatekeep the shit out of that. I used to not be big on gatekeeping.
Ladies.
But now, well, when gatekeeping is preserving, right? Because our position,
gatekeep the shit out of everything now.
Roger H, thank you for the thumbs up super sticker for $1.99 or Canadian $1.99. I appreciate that. And we also have Sha Wujing for $2. Last week's Loki feels like it could have been the contents of an email. Nothing and nothing came about it. That is so good. What a great description. It's a shame that this is all they have to do with Tom Hiddleston, right? Like Loki should be, both WandaVision and Loki should have been crazy, batshit crazy shows that people have been, open to theorizing, filled with fucking. There's no reason they can't fill these things with Easter eggs and cameos. You are dealing with the trickster god, and it's been nothing. It's garbage. Yes, this brand is strong. Yes, there's a lot of MCU stands or whatever the fuck they're called, and we're fighting against them. But you know what? Now, it used to take the entire series for people to come around. Now, the people who are mad at me for the first video aren't mad at me anymore. Well,
Luke, he spent the first 2 episodes being the butt of every joke, and then he spent the 3rd episode being an ineffectual follower of Sylvie, or whatever she's fucking calling herself. It's fucking pathetic, this show.
There wasn't a lot of people mad at me about the first. I got way more likes than dislikes on my first.
Well, first episode was about 80% ratio I had, and then the next episode 2 was about was 93% ratio, so it went from 80 to 93.
Yeah,
and then episode 3 was 95.6.
Are you using vidIQ? Do you use vidIQ?
No, I don't. I try. I find that if I get lost in the world of statistics, it preys on me. So I avoid stuff like Social Blade and all that kind of stuff because.
So how do you know?
I could fall down a rabbit hole of stats.
Are you just estimating your percentages then on the likes and dislikes?
Oh no, it shows you in the studio.
Oh, I don't even look there. Yeah, I stopped using vidIQ because it used to show you like on your homepage. It'll show you. The thing is, I'm paranoid. It's a third-party company having access to my channel, which is like I don't need the stats that much. They're all in YouTube. And
yeah, it's there. It's just there on the studio now.
And I do the same thing. I don't go to Social Blade. I don't. I could get lost in all that stuff. I just if a video
Social Blade's rippingly inaccurate as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it has no idea about live streaming and time and live streaming and all that kind of stuff. So it's kids. If you want to try and find out how well one of your YouTubers is doing, don't go to Social Blade because it's nonsense.
Well, yeah, they're making between $1 and $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I assure you, I am not a millionaire. I fucking assure you.
And I'm doing better than a quid.
Yeah, and I'm doing better than $1. We have D. Oh, I read that one. Okay. So
Yeah.
Athena, I read that one.
Oh yeah, by the way, yeah. I saw someone in the chat just mention AOC. I just want to give a shout out to AOC for doubling down on defunding the police while being one of the people who actioned a bill to have police and security $1.9 billion for their benefit pass through. So yeah, nothing says I'm a dopey ass dumb fucking stupid hypocrite than AOC. She's a doozy. She's a doozy.
People who support her are going to go ahead and support her blindly. I mean,
Yeah.
same with Gavin Newsom. They're going to support him blindly. There's people he put out of business who are going to support him because he's on my team, and it's better than the alternative, whatever that alternative is. In other words, I don't have to think, so I'll just let them think for me because I trust the government. Lady Gravemaster, true fandom transcends superficial labels and demographics. That it's purpose and joy. That's its purpose and joy, to connect our souls through love and storytelling, cheering for the best in us and shine and overcome the challenge, no matter what the odds. Fandom is about love. It's about debating. It's about enjoying our escapism. It's about enjoying our little comforts. It's our reward for working hard every fucking day. And they want to take that away because they Hollywood, the BBC, Amazon, big tech don't want us comfortable. Well, they say they don't, but they're capitulating to the woke mob. They're just capitulating to the woke mob. What Joe Rogan said is true. Most people don't have opinions, and this is the path of least resistance for them. It is more trouble because they're way more worried about being called a racist than being called out for anything else. That's it.
Well, I tell you what, if you want a perfect example of everything that's wrong with the woke brigade, all you have to do is look no further than Neil Cuckman. Because remember, folks, this is the person who went into a focus group for Uncharted 4. And then when one of the men in the focus group said, why are the women always getting the better of Nathan? Why is this woman who's smaller, etc., always getting the upper hand of Nathan? Got thrown out of the focus group for giving his opinion on why something didn't work in the game. I'm being told by Cuckman that we don't need misogynists like you here.
For asking a question, how did Sylvie get the best of the time cops in the time variant agency, where her powers are rendered mute when Loki got his ass handed to him by body positivity time cop, just one, and she beat the crap out of 3 in the hallway and killed one. And by the way, they're just humans. They're human variants.
Multiple.
Yeah. How is that?
Because she's a woman, because she's got a vagina.
Yeah, it doesn't make it makes no fucking sense. And it's not
how does Loki, who can fight toe to toe with Thor, get beaten by regular humans on a train?
Cecil said, because she's a woman. And what do you think Lord of the Rings on Amazon is going to be like? It's going to be just like that. It's going to be shit. It's going to be intersectional feminism, Lord of the Rings. And if you want the best example of the woke mob, look no further than the Tolkien Society. That's my video. People have gone over their paper. I haven't made a video on it yet, and I will. And I'll tease. I have a suggestion for some counter programming that I think we should do. Cecil says, speaking of porn, Cecil says, for $5, strippers are wired better than actresses. I've dated both. Yes, and they're more honest. You're absolutely correct, Cecil. I knew a stripper who was also a hairdresser. She's fine. She was a go-getter, that one. Ed Star for $10, and thank you, Cecil. What's up, brother? Hardball. 1994 was the last TV appearance of Rosemarie the Dick Van Dyke Show as the team owner. Hardball. Yeah, the show Hardball. Yeah, that is some good fucking trivia there. I don't even remember Hardball, but it's because it was 1994 was the first full year I was out of prison, and I was just getting back used to life. It was my first year out sober and getting over the trauma of prison. I mean, anybody who walks out of there with a little PTSD because you don't really sleep very well.
Oh, dude, I can't even imagine.
It's a stressful situation, right? So I'll never be able to thank my friend Doug Johnson enough. One of my best friends in the world, gave me a job when nobody would, took a risk on me, and I was a fucking loose cannon at this place. Like, there was I was working at the video counter, and there's this elderly guy just ripping into me, and I fucking went off on him because, you know, I was still in prison disrespect me mode. We're fucking throwing right now. And it was so hard to restrain that, you know, at first. And he could have fired me right there. And he and Glenn Thayer, I thank him too, took me in the office, calmed me down. They had to write me up. They were very apologetic. And I felt terrible afterwards, right? And it turns out that me and that old guy end up being like buds afterwards, and you know, being pretty chummy when he came in. I apologized to him and stuff, but yeah, it was a rough year, man. 94. Hail, I joined Parler as you guys were leaving Twitter, and I wanted to make sure I got notifications, as we know you don't always get them from YouTube. Support what you do next. Just don't want to get screwed. Yeah, Andil DN for 19.99 British pounds. Parler got screwed over. Parler should have fought for themselves. I don't care what was behind Parler. They were getting traction, and that's why they stopped. And that's what proves there is, I can't say a monopoly, but there is a triopoly between Google, Twitter, and Facebook, who all fired.
Collusion. There was absolutely, undoubtedly collusion.
And yeah, and that's just absolutely against the law. But these companies are so big now, the government can't take them on. I mean, Amazon is a small government. It is Jeff Bezos by himself has like GDP of a small country. Listen, I am all for,
So's his fucking ex-wife.
Live and let live. You know, you make as much as you earn, right? That's fine. I also believe that as adults, we should set limits on ourselves. Like, do we need $1 trillion? Do we need $1 trillion? Or be responsible? You know, with great power comes great responsibility. With this $1 trillion, I could sway elections. I can do all kinds of crazy shit. And, you know, it'd be very hard for a single human not to do that, especially when you're a trillionaire and nobody's ever going to tell Jeff Bezos no. Who's going to tell Jeff Bezos no?
His ex-wife.
Obviously. You British dudes know how to roast. Oh, you do. You do. There's an well, it's in my video. There's a roasting of Lord of the Rings from a British critic. Basically said, if you enjoy it, you're part of the adult slow. 87, which was, I mean, that's a good roast, but it's like, ooh, come on, England needs a comma, people. Says permanent oil capsule for £2. I will be in Az's lovely country next year for the Wales Comic-Con. I was supposed to go during the Coof year, and I didn't, but Melissa and I will be going out to the UK next year.
When's that going to be?
There's Wales. I think the Wales Comic-Con, well, it used to happen twice a year, right? It used to happen at the beginning of the year, towards the end. So it'll be the one towards the end of the year. September. Inquisitor Sarah for $5. Yeah, I had a 14-hour shift with my brother in Washington, and we both work construction. It was 109 in Birmingham. We are just not used to this heat. No, that is very unusual for that's what we call earthquake weather. Earthquake weather. There's no science behind that at all. That's just what we call it. Loved longbow hunters, especially the art style and the painted landscapes in the final volume. Do you have any other Green Arrow recommendations for $5? Fox Pocket. You probably read more than I did.
Well, I mean, the Longbow Hunters was by Mike Grell, and then they started an ongoing Green Arrow series with Mike Grell writing and also doing the art for the most part. So I would thoroughly recommend that if you love the Longbow Hunters, pick up Mike Grell's run of Green Arrow. I think it starts Green Arrow 1 like 1988. So you should be able to pick it up for a pretty decent price still. And Grail looked after it for about 75 issues or so, from what I can remember. And there's some great stuff. There's some stuff, I think, around about issue 20, 25, 26-ish, which feeds back to the Longbow Hunters. So
yeah, there's a Kevin Smith run that's pretty good as well. And he did a good job.
That's bringing Oliver Queen back into the DC universe after he was killed. So yeah, that's him coming back, being talked out of heaven.
And then there's I like Kevin Smith's Daredevil run. I don't know how much he actually wrote it. I don't know if it was Joe Quesada who wrote it or him, but I liked it. I used to like Kevin Smith. I did used to like him. Now I find him an insufferable shill. Yep. Moist Messenger for 10 Australian dollars. Gary, I'd love to email you 2 relapses in the last 19 months. One and done's, except both landed me in the hospital. First, almost lost my leg from passing out on top of it. Totally freak accident. Yeah, email me, Gary@nerdrotic.com. Absolutely. And don't beat yourself up for relapsing. I mean, like, that's part of it. Just, go back to meetings, and what you'll find is one of the most, empathetic, caring groups of people you'll ever see on this planet. The people who, once you walk in that door, whatever you did, nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares, because it's about sobriety in there. It's not about what you did before. And outside of like heinous crimes, but like normal, I robbed a place or something, even that, people don't care. They just, you're there to get better. It's about redemption. It's about getting sober and turning your life around, and it works. It just takes work. But the results can happen pretty quick, and it's just a matter of how much, we put into it.
Don't give up, dude.
No, don't give up, because life gets so much better, and life is full of opportunities. Now, 2 weeks ago, I nodded off in my car, got bitten by a savage spider, which caused a seizure. Now 75% of my body is ruined at 31. I could use some advice. I have no family or friends anymore. Moist Messenger for 10 Australian dollars. Holy shit. For one, if you could start going to meetings, if you're physically able to go, because that's where you get your support group. That is your support group, and you will have people, strangers, immediately being there to help you, calling to make sure you're all right, taking you out to coffee. That's what it's there for, and that's why people go. You will see at the end of a lot of meetings, in the beginning of a meeting, you have to announce if you're a newcomer. If you're under 30 days, they say, please announce yourself. And you say, hi, my name's Gary. I am an alcoholic. And everybody claps. And now at the end, we start reading our, the steps and the traditions. And then is there anybody here willing to be a sponsor? And then you see most of the meeting raise their hands. Just pick one of those people. Make sure it's if you're a guy, make sure it's a guy. If you're a girl, make sure it's a girl. And go from there. That's the best suggestion I can make, because you need a support network. You need people you can call. You will get phone numbers. And I know it's tough to ask, but believe me, I know it's no different in Australia than it is here, because I've been to meetings in the UK, and it's no different there. I've been to meetings in countries where I don't understand languages. It doesn't matter. It's the same. So good luck to you, man. Yeah, email me, mtaxshark for $5. Got to run. Thanks for keeping me company while I work, guys. You're welcome, buddy. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Does the BBC stand for Bald British Chad? Xenobit. It's bagging, boarding, and chatting. And I am bagging and boarding Civil War variants because I just found them. I will have a sweet stack of I'm pretty sure I just got it. Tomb of Dracula.
Ooh.
Bronze Age Tomb of Dracula and Werewolf by Night. Scored them both for fucking cheap.
Got them.
Yep. I basically my collecting is going to be Bronze Age only. I'm just going to get the Bronze Age. That was my era. I loved it as a kid. Orange Board, there he is for $10. Thank you for everything, brother. When you are free, check those DMs. I will, man. I will. I fucked up what happened to you, man. Westfield 90 for $9.99. No connection to Pride Month, but I love you guys. Awesome content from both. I appreciate that.
Wouldn't have mattered if it was.
We got a super sticker, a rainbow sticker from Darius Munchausen. Very funny for $1.49.
Yeah.
We're gonna go over to the donation side real quick, and I'm gonna have to bolt out of here because I got to finish I haven't put out a video in a long time, so I got to feed Mama Susan, and I finally have something to say. There's actually like 5 things I can make a video on right now. I got to do a low tier one, talk about that Quentin Tarantino thing and Marvel. I wanted to wait till the end of Loki to do a review, but dude, that last episode was such shit. But we got another one tomorrow, right? It's tomorrow, or is it? When does Loki again?
It's it'll be out tomorrow. Midnight. It'll be out in a couple of hours here in the UK, and as soon as I wake up tomorrow, I'll be watching it and reviewing it, and probably thanking God there's only going to be 2 more episodes left of that.
Yeah. Well, I've been working on my season review. I'm building it as it goes.
Yeah.
That's what I've been working on, and Picard as well. So Fiji Melon for $10. Hail Nerdrotic, and as not paying taxes is a peaceful protest, and you don't need to assemble. You can do it alone at home. Yeah, that is a discussion I had with Mrs. Nerdrotic. Of course, we're going to pay our taxes, but we asked for an extension just because we didn't. Just because I'm not going to. I don't feel. Just because I don't fucking feel. Fuck that. I felt like an idiot last year paying taxes, and especially after the coup, the Biden administration pushes it back a whole fucking month. Thanks, asshole. And California is fucked because a lot of their tax money came from those businesses they shut down. So I don't know how they're going to pay off everybody's rent, which they offered to do. Everybody's past due rent. Oh, and by the way, all the people who burn through your savings to pay your rent to do it on time, you're not getting this shit. You're not getting shit. That is a
sounds like fun time.
All right. We're gonna have to wrap this one up. I can't do a 5-hour show. I'm sorry, because what we got. Thank you so much for keeping me sane, guys, says the Moist Messenger. And thank you. Yeah. Thanks, man. That's for swearing. D Cray 15. Fuck it. So you've got another channel. You've got an Instagram, which Mrs. Nerdrotic's going to help you with. You're on Friday Night Tights, and we've got Lauren Chen. What else you got going on? You got a show tomorrow?
No, that's today. That's right now, actually. I've got Fully Articulated over on Robert Meyer Burnett's channel tomorrow, 8 p.m. UK time, midday Pacific time. Lots to show off. I got 1, 2 plus. I showed this off, but you know, 3, 4. Oh, 4 things to show off to Mozipan there. Plus, there's been some really interesting 1 in 6 releases or pre-orders, I really should say, which no doubt we'll discuss as well. New channel starting in early July, What Toys, where I'll just be dealing with my hobby stuff there, my 1 in 6 collection, Legos, Warhammer 40k, various things. I think my streaming is actually okayed. I think I set that up today, and that's all good to go as well. So that's going to happen beginning of July. So when it's ready, I'll obviously spam the link, and hopefully you guys will sign up, because it's a channel starting from scratch. So to monetize it, I need that 1,000 subs, and I need that 4,000 minutes or whatever it is hours or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, we'll do a live stream over there.
Cool. Like, cool.
Cool.
And then, yeah, Friday Night Tights on Friday.
We could do a live stream, and I could maybe we could show off entire I could show off my Lord of the Rings Osmus, the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
I got four lovely guys just sat here in front of me.
You really see it, but it's on the top shelf there, right there. That's all.
Oh, you didn't see that?
I did. What? I do it again.
No, you didn't see it.
No. Do it again.
No, it's one of those you didn't see it.
Oh, okay.
You didn't see that, right?
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Friday.
Thanks, chat. You've been great. I've been reading you for most of the night. Some interesting insults, which I love. Always like a nice insult. I think we got calm down ZZ Top at one point.
Hey.
I have to confess I did rather chuckle at. Which is just great. But no, thank you, chat. I think we did over 4,000 today. So that's absolutely freaking awesome.
Yeah, absolutely freaking brilliant. So Nerdrotic Live just hit 50,000 subscribers. 50,000 subscribers. We're creeping up on 350 over here on the main channel, and we're almost at 40 over at Nerdrotic Daily with fucking Perry fucking Chan killing it. I've got some work for him too. You inspired me. I need a new banner logo, and I'm gonna get a new frame for us for Friday. I'm gonna get a custom frame for us for Friday Night Tights for the live stream. And then do another one for the Nooner, but I definitely want to one that incorporates all our logos and stuff somewhere, and we can.
So we're going to have our own little homes.
Yeah. And I'm also thinking about moving to Melon. I'm going to see if Melon is better than StreamYard. Sorry,
I fucking love melons.
I love melons too, but I'm talking about the streaming.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Talking obviously about the beautiful food. Melon's beautiful food.
Of course. Yeah. So Lauren Chan, Friday Night Tights. I've got Exos on Thursday. I've got Nerdrotic Nooner tomorrow, but I have to get videos out. So that takes priority, and I might have to blow something off to make sure my videos get out. Hopefully not. But that has to happen. And the Superman statue.
Yeah, but you're not building it here though, are you?
I have to.
Oh, you're gonna do it now.
Gonna do it now. I have to inspect it. The guy asked me to inspect it, so yeah, I should, because I don't want to have it broken. So it's being built tonight. Being built tonight.
All
right. Hey, Az, thanks for coming on. Don't forget to follow him on Instagram, heel_versus_babyface. Please follow me on Instagram, because I will be moving my interaction over there as well over the course of the next few months. I'm building things up, and I thank you all. Thank you to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who donated and set a super chat. You help keep the lights on and keep this thing going. We freaking love you guys. Catch it in the square up if it was missed. And we will see you next Tuesday on Az's channel for the next Real BBC. Bye-bye.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Later.